Hello, and this is the start of Men's League One. Congratulations to Spartans, who have just now been crowned victors of the Men's Super League. I'm Tim, and I'm joined by Sam.
Hi guys, good to be back. Yeah, pretty important game for both teams, this one. So Spartans 2's currently leading the fight for second. Norwich Nighthawks guaranteed promotion last time out, and Spartans hoping to follow them up for 3 consecutive promotions, both of them up from League 3 up to Men's Super League, something like that. Bedford Eagles looking to spoil the party a little bit. They currently have an outside chance of promotion as well, but they do require to win this game first and foremost, but then also for Spartans and Cyclones to drop points elsewhere. But yeah, we've seen some funny things happen on this final day, so anything can happen.
And firstly, the thing I note is the Bedford Mighty Eagles team are starting with 5 players. So I believe they are short on players, whether that's because someone hasn't turned up yet. We don't know, but we will keep you updated on that.
Yeah, certainly bereft of their normal roster. No Burdett, no Midder, no Briggs. Josiah and Bailey, obviously, they're kind of stalwart wing pairings. John Rudland starts in the middle alongside Haldenby, and Morris is going to have a...
that is a lovely set of play there from the Eagles.
2 cross-court hits on Fleming and Wilkie, I think.
Yes, I do believe so. Now, I think something to be said is actually because the Eagles team is playing with Morris, a lot of players may not be necessarily aware of how to play in a men's match against a female. And it's really important for them to remember that actually...
She can't be underestimated,
the reason she's there is because she will make catches. So it's that difficult thing where you don't necessarily want to target them because they may catch you, but also you feel it's going to be an easier hit. And that is a lovely free throw there from Josiah.
Yeah, beautifully timed. Just so that Diggins couldn't get there to punish. Doherty had no chance of getting it. Release from Tetley does get through his hands, just about.
Yeah, Tetley managing to deal with that double attack at him as well, quite well. So
Bedford Eagles still a player up here. Not for long though. 2-ball attack onto Bailey is successful.
The commentator there.
Double counter onto Rudland and he gets away from it.
Not sure how much of that was getting away from it. And
better to be lucky than good, is what they say.
For sure.
3 balls onto Tetley.
Oh,
hit and out
I
of
think
court.
both a hit and line.
Beautiful bit of ball retrieving via the noggin of Rudland. Morris being trusted with the last ball. Test out Diggins. 2 balls from Keys and Diggins don't make the mark.
And this is exactly what I was saying, that actually, despite it being 2 guys and a girl on court, the Eagles, actually, they're happy to have Morris on the wing. They know that actually she's going to be able to deal with it. It's not a problem to have her there. So, a lot of trust coming from her team there.
Yeah, certainly. And those of us who have been playing mixed league this season will know all too well. But you know, there's plenty of girls who can more than hold their own in the men's game. Morris doing very well to maintain this lead for Bedford Eagles. Haldenby playing with fire on that far side line.
The line.
Eventually runs into the counter from Keys. Doesn't best the 5 balls though. Morris and Rudland looks for Diggins.
Yeah.
Draw to start us off.
A lot of space there for Diggins to be dodging in, able to just basically sidestep their throws, make it look like they almost weren't valid at the end there, but they definitely were. Yeah, just really nice play. But we'll see if Spartans 2 are as quick out the blocks this time.
Well, Bedford Eagles elected to not contest that middle ball. That might come back to bite them with one of their uncontested balls landing in no man's land. Doherty applying tons of pressure.
Whoa!
Hit Fleming onto Bailey, and then the ricochet up for Haldenby. Does manage to catch it and dodges the covering throw from Wilkie. Gives 5 balls away to Bedford Eagles as well. Play 4 called.
You've got to be fairly disappointed if you're the Spartans team there.
Hit onto Tetley.
You get the 3 balls off the start, and then you end up getting hit out and then caught. So
yeah, and the 5-ball attack results in it basically being a 0 for 3.
Oh.
Make that Wilkie's got to go. Yeah, it's definitely Wilkie's ball, I think, that was caught. Yeah, a bit of confusion about which ball Josiah was caught. Definitely hit on Doherty and catch on Wilkie. Double counter from Bailey and Keys.
Keys here, not a player to be underestimated. Playing not. For Scotland Highlanders, so very high quality player.
Yeah. Definitely
just being very sensible, blocking the ball back, making him do the work. Not only is that very useful for this set, making it very hard for Josh to do anything, but also in later frames, suddenly Josh is having to throw continuously for the remaining time, and as you can see, both wing players just happy to block it back entirely. So Josh very sneakily there
tries to Malteser. Yeah, indeed.
And that's the thing, even if that's not planned for a hit, it still works because it passes that possession over. But unlucky there.
Yeah, it's clever block from Rudland into the grateful arms of Hordenby. 2 ricochet catches for Hordenby in that set. Nice one to pad the stats.
The second one was definitely slightly more forgiving than his diving catch for the first, but
they all count. 3-1 to Eagles. First decisive result. They make slightly better work of that initial recycling of the ball. Josiah has it straight on the wing. Fleming looks for Hordenby.
I was unlucky there. He tracked where the player was going, just not quite how far the player was going. So unlucky not to get the skim off his leg there.
Interesting as well the fact that a lot happening there. A lot of covering throws from Tetley leaves himself vulnerable to Bailey. The hit on Rutland is good, and then follow up onto Tetley.
And Josiah as well.
Oh yeah, he's gone. I think
all of that.
Yeah. A lot to unpack in any case.
Yeah, it's one of those things where a lot of the time on that play, if you spot someone that's not paying enough attention, which can be the whole team at times, other than the person running for the ball, you can end up with a cheeky, easy hit. Eagles going for a cross court there, not being able to find Diggins. So Spartans now with the 3 balls on.
Good shot from Morris.
Glorious free throw.
Like we said, can't underestimate her 1 iota. More than holding her own in this game.
Yeah, I think Wilkie was just surprised in how early that ball came.
Indeed.
Morris not waiting till he was actually particularly close to the line, deciding to pre-throw early.
It does the trick, yeah.
It works if they're not paying attention.
2 balls onto Fleming. Makes her revenge hit on Bailey.
That was really nice work there, keeping eyes on Morris the whole time he was doing the running counter.
While still going for the empty target. Doesn't get suckered into going for ball holders. Decides to go for a bit more expansive play. Ball in from spectators, a little wild.
Abby Gower struggling a couple of times with the height that these crowd are passing this ball in. But both times the Eagles have managed to retain possession.
Ball's blocked out from Diggins. 2-player advantage for Spartans. Or he looks to throw a multiple attack. Certainly will have to now. They got play ball. Hordenby goes lateral and gets out of the way a bit. 4 balls for Hordenby and Morris to play with. 2 balls onto Fleming, make the hit.
Yes, yeah, just not quite able to jump and get over that, I think, there. Yeah, a bit unlucky.
Interesting play from Diggins to pass him a ball to try and do something different, do something to try and provide a counter opportunity. Much more difficult to do with 1 ball, but ball incoming to Fleming potentially caught him a little bit unawares, and he's clipped by Hordenby on the way down. Still a 1-player advantage for Spartans. I don't think there's a huge amount of time left in this game. Single from Diggins is safe.
No, I think that's pretty much the time for the set there.
Yep.
So nicely managed there by Spartans, just able to keep their player advantage, maintain that throughout the whole 3 minutes, and win with players left on at the end. So nice work there.
So
and we do
better late than never. But it enters the fray. So it is now going to be six apiece, And I think Bedford Eagles will call a timeout just to give them an opportunity to get warm, potentially.
I think it's also realising that actually they have other players as well.
Midder
it was
also
a whole car that was late. So just a opportunity for them to actually get on board. Not be thrown in instantly, but actually have that opportunity to go, okay, I am just about to play a game of dodgeball.
Yeah, indeed.
And get their head on, really.
We saw it with Norwich last week out when they had a carload that was late to their Cyclones game, and they were doing so well with 5 people that they just elected to play another set with 5 to give their extra players time to warm up. And then when they went up to 6 players, then they lost, I think, 3 sets on the bounce. So make of that what you will.
To be honest, a lot of the time, it's the extra space on the court.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
It means that actually you're so much harder to hit, and as soon as that gets narrowed, even if it's only one player that gets hit out early on, it gets in your head a bit. But actually, rather than dodging, we've now been hit, and people then get worried. They go, okay, we'll try and look for a catch, and end up putting themselves in a more vulnerable position. So hopefully Eagles can manage to deal with that problem. Obviously, having 6 players is better than having 5. So
yeah, so Morris does make way. Burdett and Midder straight into the fray.
And by the looks of it, Morris is actually away from the court. So
Her work here is done.
I don't think she was meant to be there. That was just helping out. So we can expect this same 6 Eagles player to remain on for
quite possibly, unless there are any more late arrivals. Never know.
Yeah, there may be.
Burdett tests that immediately by Wilkie and doesn't make the catch. Sub on also for Spartans. Poole is now on the right hand, on Spartans' right. Sub on for Fleming for this set. Single from Keys. Budman thinks about it, but thinks better of it.
Yeah, that would have been a very, very impressive catch with the way that ball was placed.
Indeed.
So very sensibly leaves it well alone. Single from Tetley, despite Spartans going to be ending up with 4.
Potentially not the best execution for the ball majority from Spartans. Single from Poole looks for Josiah. Josiah baits out Doxy, thinking he might go up for the ricochet catch, and just decides to wipe him out, fucking straight on the toes, and they get 4 balls off the back of it. Free throw from Tetley, looks for Hordenby. 3 balls onto Poole, makes the hit.
Nice work there. Getting the punish and makes it even on players.
Back in the game, certainly. Single again from Tetley, looks for Hordenby. Josiah looks for Wilkie.
Yeah,
Wilkie
just
tries to play the favour on Midder.
Utilise the space on the court there to just get well out of the way.
Yeah. Not a luxury you can afford when you have 2 extra players to shoehorn in there.
And this Eagles team doing their patented pass off, not something many other teams do, as Josiah gets clipped by that 2-ball attack.
Yeah, so. Spartans blink. It's become a very cagey affair with lots of teams not willing to invest possession. Spartans do blink on that occasion and make the hit. Play 3's called, Rudden's got to go. And he does. Just about.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. A ref is always less likely to call an invalid there.
I think
it gets away with that. I think it probably was within a metre.
Yeah, I think it looks fine enough from here. Good shot from Keys onto Midder. Player equality short-lived. Spartans find themselves with advantage again. Eagle from Keys. Where he tells you about how Spartans are looking to play this one out. Not particularly interested in investing possession for hits, and why would they? There's about 15 seconds left. Free throw from Hordenby onto Tetley.
They're grouping together to try and look for a catch.
He makes a hit.
And that ball sailed into the crowd. We're now having to do some work as commentators here.
There we go. I feel part of the game.
Very smart play by the Spartans twos. They're just calming themselves down, holding possession, knowing that actually there's nothing the Eagles can do there. So very sensible play to get out that win there, leaving the score 5-3.
Interesting if Spartans start extending their advantage, whether the decision to use their timeout to warm up Midder and Burdett comes back to bite Bedford Eagles, and remains to be seen.
Yeah, I still think it's a sensible decision.
Yeah.
But it does also give Spartans the opportunity to realise, hey, look, there's 2 new people here.
Yeah.
If we start targeting them, they don't get a chance to get into their game. We're all ready to go. They're not. So they can really punish that.
Well, you saw it last time out. Bedford was the very first casualty for Bedford Eagles in the last game. Singer from Tetley looks for Josiah.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to block that, take out the power of it to give the possession to them, but unfortunately not able to do so. Oh, nice.
Good shot from Josiah.
Lovely free throw. Ball passed over to him again, so let's see if he can keep himself in, or possibly even look for another hit.
Play 3. Oh. I think he might be hit first there, but he does make the free throw hit on Diggins. Hit first. Yeah, I think that's fair. It looked it from here, certainly. Not that we got the best angle, but...
It may have also been Diggins' ball that got caught.
Yeah. So hard to tell for refs in terms of who's gone. But Diggins has not been pre-thrown anyway. Multiple attack onto Paul. Trades himself with Bailey. Bedford Eagles still with the player advantage.
Not entirely sure who that trade benefits. Jaff being a very big player, both in terms of stature and arm itself.
Yeah.
But with Josiah out for the Eagle team, actually he is
pulling a lot of strings. Free throw for Purdit is good though. Goes through the block of Keys.
It's a lot of hits we've had so far on these free throws.
Yeah, certainly.
Clearly, this Bedford Mighty Eagles team is doing something very well with that.
No joy there on that occasion. But last chance to punish. He does make the hit on Doherty. Telly makes a miracle catch on the ground. Brings back Wilkie. It's a 2-on-2. Hornaby with the last ball for Bedford Eagles. No disguise on where this ball's going.
A little over 30 seconds.
Hit on Hornaby. Rudden's left on his own. And I think he's got 2 balls to play with.
I think he was a bit worried about going for a catch there. It looked like actually, had he committed to it, he probably would have got it. Very high throw there from Tetley.
Wilkie gets away from it. Rudden left with 1.
Looks like we'll have at least 1 set of throws before him perfectly in. I think that may be it. I don't think they actually need to release anymore.
Rudden might go here.
Yeah, clearly the Spartans team having the call from either the ref or their coach in the outbox to tell them, no, you don't need to raise. Rudland, unfortunately, not having the same luxury, wasn't quite aware of how long was left.
Not sure there was a huge amount they could have done from that point anyway.
It's still, you go for the off chance that you do make a hit off it. They're not able to be given that luxury.
7-3 at half. I think that's a big set for Spartans to win with the momentum of winning. I think 3 sets on the bounce. I think they were 3-1 down at 3-1 down at one point. Sets have all been close. I think have they all gone to time pretty much. That catch from Tetley in that set really swinging things. So I think a 5-all at half. I don't think you could have really argued with it.
I think this score flatters Spartans too. I think these teams have been pretty neck and neck throughout this. And I have to say, I don't know necessarily that you can see it on the screen. I do love the difference in huddles here. The Spartans team with probably one of the largest huddles I have seen. I think that is a max squad size as well as a coach and 2 retrievers. Whereas the Beagles team, a bare 6 coach and retrievers, padding it out, but even so, does not look anywhere near as big in size. So at the start of this second half, what do you think Beagles need to do to try and eke out a win, as that first frame is so important? Is it continue with their pre-throws?
I think Spartans will probably sharpen up to that before too long, so it's a risky strategy to continue with it, although it has been working. I think in reality, I think the main thing Spartans have been better at is just the trades. You saw in that exchange where which I think turned from a one-player advantage for Bedford Eagles to then maybe a 2 or 3 player deficit with a ricochet catch and a load of hits. Josiah's been targeted quite a lot as well from Spartans on that wing, and you can understand why, because it's been, you know, on his day probably one of the best players in the league. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether he elects to hold a little bit more to try and protect himself, but then in so doing negates the threat he possesses. It's a really difficult conundrum, but he's out on the swing to start with, and again tested out immediately by Wilkie.
Yeah, it's one where a lot of the time it can give other players a real big chance to shine, because so much pressure is being drawn on that side of the court. But your other winger almost has free reign, so Spartans doing very well to actually make sure they're not letting that focus solely on Josiah there. And of course, as I say it, both of the first 2 throws from Spartans go out Josiah, so
indeed.
Clearly I know nothing about dodgeball.
You heard it here first. Bedford Eagles been a bit more varied with their targeting. Test up. Bailey looks for Paul on this occasion, doesn't find him. That was close to a double, but only one hit from Wilkie onto Burdett. Paul looks for Midder, doesn't find him.
So still a 5-on-5 left. Nice lateral move from Paul there, meaning that he doesn't need to even keeps his ball free in case a delayed ball in. So, moves. Ooh. He's setting himself on the floor quite early there and not able to capitalise that. Josiah.
Gets through the block of Diggins. Bailey was hit by Paul and amongst all that, so we're still level apiece here. Good shot from Josiah again onto Doherty.
That one's slightly more post throw. Waits until he's planted his
foot. But the timing's better.
Timing
absolutely superb. Good laterals from Paul to get out of the way of those.
And the crowd definitely appreciate that dodge.
Yeah, it wasn't bad timing from the Bedford Eagles guys. The 3 balls being in time means that if there's a big movement, then there's no opportunity for a delay throw.
And that's a lovely cross. I believe it was the cross court.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah,
got the hit there. Like, beautiful work.
Yeah, really vindicating staying alive.
With that short ball as well. Still quite a cagey first set.
Paul doing exactly the same again on Muglands. Doing a lot of heavy lifting in this set.
And with only 25 seconds left in the frame, Spartans, as per usual, start to play very sensibly, just manage their time rather than look to necessarily finish out the set.
Yeah, more maps, just very safe in singles.
Paul, I think a bit lucky there. Actually, that was a very early release of possession. The retrievers hadn't yet got the balls close to coming in. So by doing so,
left Wilkie a little bit vulnerable, but
yeah,
it was smart play from Haldenby admitted to then pounce on that opportunity when it was available. But Nighthawks joined this occasion.
I'd like to see a split ball there, so throwing at 2 different targets, one ball just to keep your ball holder honest on the opposition, and then another one to try and look to get a hit to even that frame up.
Spartans using the quick start, I think, for the first time. Doherty takes out Haldenby.
I think they've tried it a few times, just not quite managed to be successful with it. And
trades all around
from Paul. He looked like he was trying to deal with his watch. I think he came off. And in that momentary lapse of concentration, does get punished.
Occupational hazard, I think. A 3-ball attack makes 2 hits on Doherty and Tetley.
Yeah, very nice play. And Eagles still ending up with 2 balls.
Yeah, managed to getting one back. Higgins again looking for Josiah. What do Bedford Eagles do here? Do they want to do a Spartans and time it out? No, they go for a 2-ball attack.
No, I think because there's still 2 minutes left of this frame, you need to try and
extend your advantage.
Extend your lead at the very least. If not, actually just win it in less time. playing the time is only really effective when you've got maybe 45 seconds left. If you've got more than that, it can be quite difficult.
Big ball attack does take out Josiah. He looks for Bailey, who tries to pay in the favour. Level again here. 2 free throws coming in from Burdett and Bailey. Gives away 4 balls.
We'll see releasing as well. Probably could have actually reset for all 5. Obviously would have been play ball.
Oh, Diggins gets
a jabby catch there from the front of the court. Looks like he was going for the block and the ball just wedged behind it.
Best block of his life, I think, that one. But he's been given out as well.
Called out for the 5 second.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, that is the rule, unfortunately.
It's also one where Dickens definitely going to take that.
Yeah.
I mean,
captain out in the not in the normal sense of the word.
Yeah.
All applying a lot of pressure.
Now, both of these players facing off have been doing monumental work for the England national team.
Yeah.
Both now moved on to other things. No, Jeff.
Paul's still England's Rutland's Home Nations coordinator.
Yes,
I'm not sure what his title is. Anyway, Ovenden makes his bow. Doxy's off for this one for Spartans 2.
And I'll cover the changes for the Bedford Mighty Eagles team. There is none. Unfortunately, only having 6 players.
Maybe Morris needs to get back in the fray.
Well, I think if you were going to do that, it probably should have been a couple of sets ago. Unfortunately, this looks like it's going to be passing.
Great take from Paul. Now, wasn't a bad signal from Burnett. It was high and on the shoulders, but Paul gets his hands up there just in time.
Yeah, reacts well to it. He also moves slightly laterally to just make it a bit more on the body. So nice work there to take that catch.
I mean, no changes in personnel for Bedford Eagles, but they have changed something. They put Josiah on this on the other wing. Wasn't getting a huge amount of joy on that side. I think owing to the fact that Bedford Eagles were more than happy to throw a lot of cross courts, which is much easier for right-handers to throw on that side. So putting him over on the other wing nearest the outbox means that less likely to be targeted by the cross courts, but targeted ordinarily by Paul, Diggins and Tetley. He's his exit.
And even if he does still get targeted by either those cross courts or just a multiple attack, it's far more obvious that it's coming in that direction.
Yeah,
players still need to run in that direction. They can't just continue their throwing motion through and pull the ball around. Spartans currently a player up, but the ball attack here. Do manage to even it up. Nice double ball release on Tetley. Looks a little like a fish there.
I think he made his mind up there. If they were coming at him, he was going for the catch, I think, was the long and short of it. Slight stoppage of time, I think, for a shoelace or two. But back up and running again. Plenty of face coming out. Wiggy gets pre-thrown by Hordenby.
I think our time may be very slightly out now, but we will keep you updated, and no doubt the refs should very hopefully have the correct time. Somehow nobody's out.
Yeah.
Very nice pre-throw from
Paul onto Bailey,
but not quite connecting, and then 3 balls somehow all around Paul and not making a hit. So Diggins a bit confused about why he's called out there. I think it was a middle line.
That would make sense. The ball certainly looks plenty valid, put it that way, and it wasn't the kick. Paul's gone, 2-ball attack makes the mark.
Yeah, I think he was conscious of the time with about 15 left, a bit less. He knew he had to try and make a catch at some point. And
Bedford Eagles back on the march again.
Well,
11-5.
They're looking like they want this. They want to try and get that promotion back to men's Super League.
Yeah, don't want to go up in the stream yet.
Still quite a big ask.
Like we said at the start, I think anything but a win for Bedford means that they cannot get promoted. I think they can't catch Spartans if they don't win this game. So an 11-all draw still isn't really enough for Bedford.
Yeah, it does then make Spartans' life quite a bit more difficult. Forcing them.
Yeah, indeed. Spartans definitely have a vested interest in winning this game, to say the least.
I think most teams generally have an interest in winning the match that they're playing in, but
yeah, you know what I mean. What do you mean you're not here just for fun?
Spartans coming up with 4 balls. Again,
no surprise about who they're going for, but just I survived this time.
Quite a surprising play there, doing a double cross court.
Yeah, pulling out all the stops to try and catch him unawares. Free throw from Bird. It's a little wild. Josiah's vulnerable. Paul elects to hold. They got 4 balls to play with.
Yeah, being told by the rest of this team there that they have 4 balls just takes the nice easy. Oh no, I'll stand here.
Look up. Oh, takes a lovely one.
And I think that means they're stood at that front corner of their court for the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's just set up camp. Ooh, yeah. Bailey caught in 2 minds a little bit, ends up dangling his hands.
Yeah. It's one where you've definitely seen him take catches down there, but just...
on this occasion.
I think he's aware of the time left and the score. He's trying to...
Yeah, easy to speed. And I think that's been why... catch from Diggins takes out the block attack from Josiah.
Not sure that was a intended block attack or just a keep himself in, but unfortunately not able to. And
the free throw from Halderby does take out Keys, and then
play 3 called, and it was
sporadic
3 singles, all at the same player, none of which were particularly close to making a hit. So
I think that tells you the Spartans are more than happy to just slow this down a little bit more, sting out the game.
They know that there's about 3 minutes left, about 50 of this frame. So
shot from Midden takes out Fleming. Spartans not only with a 1-player advantage. Bedford Eagles doing well to just whip down slowly but surely. Delayed ball for Tetley takes out Midden.
Very delayed ball.
Important hit. Yeah, I think he realised that the ball from Paul was initially blocked back, so he had 3 balls to play with. Yeah. It's more or less a free throw if he wanted it. And he did.
Tetley nearly sliding into that ball and very close to that back line. Does manage to stay in.
2 separate targets. Yeah, Bedford Eagles pulling up the stops. Yeah, doesn't need anything of that. 4 balls again.
And again, it's Eagles team clumping together to try and look for that catch, but it's just not there.
Again, good discipline, good clinical display from Spartans thus far. Is that it, or is there more to come?
I believe there is at least one more frame.
We've only played 9 sets, so we must be playing more.
Obviously, the time was briefly paused, so 2:20 left. So our clock is pretty much bang on. Well done to our wonderful operator, Maddie. And
Josiah opting to go back over to his favoured right wing and put to immediate use by taking that ball.
Yeah, I mean, I would be very surprised if this game does go shorter than the 2 minutes that was left. But
considering I think pretty much every set of the entire game's gone to time, more or less.
Yeah.
Or there or thereabouts.
This is the lowest.
I think that's no catch from Josiah. Yeah, unfortunately. Tetley survives this one.
I think both he didn't make the catch and he was on the floor before contact with the ball was made.
But apart from that.
Yeah, apart from those fairly major rules, it was close.
Tetley doing well to throw through Burdett's block as well. They have a player advantage here and 3 balls to play with. Spartans.
A couple of fakes.
Yeah, good honesty from Mudland. Yeah, play 2 called after Spartans were dilly-dallying at the front, and Tetley takes a rogue release at Rudland when he's not looking. 2 balls onto Fleming, make the hit. Bedford Eagles can't hang about. That's a risky take. When you throw it in those kind of areas, ball returns to the court after Doherty makes a catch. And so after that, we might get another set. It remains to be seen.
And
3 ball tackle to Haldenby.
I will give you a heads up that I'm giving it over to you to decide the MVP. So do get thinking about who you believe has been the player.
Yeah, let us know, chat, and we'll probably agree, because I think there's a lot of worthy candidates on this team. This is going to be a final minute. Josiah's been waiting for that all day, I feel.
I think Fleming there as well, just deciding that.
And Josiah makes the most unlikely of trades. Block attack from Diggins.
I think Diggins is actually perfectly okay with that trade. He was kind of bemused that actually Josiah took that trade
sacrifice himself to take out Diggins. But anyway, a player advantage still. Free throw from Bennett takes out Paul, and a shot from Tetley makes the hit. Yeah, called by all the line refs.
Yeah, Rudland just not sure. Does check with the refs. He thought it may have bounced first.
Free throw from Tetley takes out Midder. Alderby's vulnerable, but Doherty, realising they have a player advantage, doesn't let go for it. There's a long left. Tetley takes a pot shot and makes the hit on Alderby. Bailey with all to do. And
I think that may have been a hit.
I think it's time. But anyway,
I think that's time anyway. And so,
an entertaining game. Spartans take the win, 17-5, I think, in the end, and
which means they're very close to cementing.
Yeah, they need a point from their final game to guarantee a first battle in Super League. Next up, we have a battle at the other end of the table: Sheriff's Twos against Worker Bees.
Hey,
I need to coach.
Trying to get away with it. Who is your MVP for the Spartans versus Bedford match?
I would give it to Tetley. I think he's been doing a lot of damage, particularly late game. But there was the clutch at the end of the first half. Very important to really steady the ship and take them into half time with an advantage. Just doing a lot of damage with his arm.
Yeah, I think everyone will agree with that. We'll be back very shortly with the next game. Cheers.
In a bit.
Let's do it, baby. Yep, you're on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Men's League One, Game 2 of Men's League One. We have ahead of us Manchester Bees versus Nottingham Sheriffs. My name is Greg Whitehouse, and I'm joined by the wonderful Wales superstar. Any other compliments that I can think of, Tim Day?
See, this is why I just had to have you doing the intro.
Yeah.
I'm there just like, Tim, this is Greg.
That's it.
Yeah, like, no.
That's all you need. So sometimes you need a bit of, that's what I'm here for.
You definitely the more experienced commentator out of the two of us, doing lots of Euros commentating throughout the years. So these two teams, where are they sat at the table at the moment?
Sheriffs down in 8th or 9th, I
believe this may be a lower bottom of the table.
Bees are quite high.
Are they?
Yeah, Bees are actually 5th, so they need to win both games. Beagle, no one's fighting for promotion. Sheriffs are somewhat still fighting for not being relegated. Yeah. Thunderdodge and Nottingham Sheriffs are both on 8 points. So Sheriffs really need to be looking at, if you're losing, sort of damage management within those games.
And what is the net difference between
20?
So not a huge amount to play with either.
No.
And B starting off early, not quite getting the hit, and a good post throw at Robbie. Not able to connect though. And that's a well faked throw there. Cousins moving around in the middle, causing an easy shot.
Paddock hit out on that left side. Now, obviously, Bees have such a depth in their entire full squad that they've actually got Robbie Angel and Drew Cousins down from somewhat the first. It's been a bit choppy and changing. Yeah. But it was something we spoke about earlier in Super League in terms of Storm 2. That seconds always somewhat find a bit of a struggle because you're almost that feeding team within.
It's almost actually easier for the third team if there is one because you're a bit more regular.
Yeah.
There's a lot less change between the twos and the threes than there is ones. And B's off to a very strong start here. And Sheriff's unfortunately not able to do anything there. They had the 5 balls, go for a release on the counter, not able to connect with it though. Yeah, this B's team coming out strong, showing that they really want to be pushing to try and get a little bit further up this table.
And for a while, they were sort of in and around that promotion zone.
Yeah.
I think a couple of losses in places sort of, they slipped away a little. It's not possible that they can be promoted today. They're 6 points from second, and the max you're going to pick up in a day is 4 anyway, and you'd need Spartans to lose.
Which did not happen in the game earlier.
Yeah.
So, and Sheriff's able to reduce the player deficit a bit, but unfortunately, left with 1 player left in, just get hit.
And good timing from Beast.
Yeah, very, very well gripped throw. And that was also a very, very quick set, first set. Clearly wanting to win this. Lovely work. Doesn't manage to connect with his single ball thrown, but does take the post throw as a catch afterwards. And a flurry of exchanges. I believe it was just a 1-for-1 there.
Yeah, Paddock obviously punishes Angel on that left side there. And then takes the catch as well. He brings Sanderson back in. I'm not sure that is Sanderson. I think, unless that's another Sanderson.
Shirts are always so deceptive when players borrow them. Everything else, especially maybe an issue tomorrow. With a second day of dodgeball, a lot of players borrow other people's spares, things like that, so that they don't have to wear the same sweaty.
We have the well-known wash in the shower technique being used later on for Rangers.
Fortunately, I don't believe there is any live streaming going on for that. But back in the action, Newton able to take out the Bees player. So, as much as that first set seemed quite dominant by Bees, the second set is exactly the same for Sheriffs. So, it'll be interesting to see how it settles down and which team starts coming out on top.
Standing comes in from Bees, but do not find a target, and actually Sheriffs now on that 5-1.
Yeah, you would expect them to finish this off fairly quickly.
And they
does so. Yeah, Brew unfortunately got caught out by the release from both wings. Very wide angle means that he goes to block the first one, and by the time he's resettled, the second one's already come in and gets the hit. So nice work there. Evens up the score.
Three balls from the side of Sheriffs from that quick start, but don't do anything with it. They decide to set back instead.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where unless those balls all come pretty well to hand, it's very difficult to then be pushing up court, because you could well leave yourself open for an flurry of exchange at the front that you end up losing. So resetting with that 3 is probably the better option, most certain. Robbie Angel going for the cross court, but gets punished heavily for it, with both of the Sheriff's players on the left getting a hit on him. Interesting to see if he clocks that actually he's probably been playing a bit too aggressively and tries to calm it down.
I think it's such a different play style. You know, Robbie's been playing a lot in the in Super League this year, but it's a different play style. It's sort of like, you know, in referencing, you know, the Premiership to the Championship of football. It's that different play style that you're after, and not all teams survive, or not all players survive in both.
Yeah, it's also, it works very differently with the team around you. In B's, that is probably an okay trade if he gets out their winger. It's then a 1-for-1, and actually these are likely to end up with possession.
Yeah.
But with that player being brought down into the 2, suddenly he's arguably the best player on that team. So he then needs to keep himself in more.
He needs to value his life more. And it's something we say. It's you might have that impact, or like you said, you might feel like you're having that impact, but your life is so much more clinical when you're in that setup. Oh no! Oh, snapper onto Paddock.
He spreads his legs for that one, but the ball just follows it right onto the foot. So
Leeds could have held there. They could have actually had 4 in the play, but I think a little bit of miscommunication. He fires his single ball, so it does give Bees that second one.
Looks like they didn't need it though. That's a beautiful single from Newton, straight down the gut and not able to be secured. Free throw coming in, but Reed's able to deal with it. Bees with 3, not able to connect. I feel that was slightly a telegraph play there. The other 2 Bees players not particularly convincing fakes.
Dave Prestage takes advantage of the fumble of the ball to a back player. Takes advantage of that. It's the experience that he brings down from the first.
Yeah, I think there was very little time left of the frame, so actually, had Sheriff's done nothing, they still would have just won just as quickly, but still, always feels good when you get those hits like that at the end. And a middle line called there for Bees, so starting 5 players. And Sheriff's up with 3, but well blocked and able to keep possession there for the big team. So let's see what they can do with 3 balls instead. Bit of an interesting release there. And great flexibility, I have to say. I definitely wouldn't have got out of the way of that. My hips do not open that wide. Get out of the way of that ball. And a flurry of exchanges, and I think it was 2 hits against Bees, 1 for Sheriff. But player called back in as the hit was after the player was already out. And already showing an impact from remaining in, gets a single hit through the block of Reeds. So it's a really nice play. Two balls released there from Sheriff, but not able to connect. And B's coming up with 3. Oh, nice pre-throw. Gets him as soon as he opens it up, the body. As Newton taking out Sanderson there. Really nice. And all 5 balls for Sheriff, and teams are even, so... Oh.
Looks like it clips his hand. It definitely feels like he's fishing that way.
Yeah, it was very close. I think maybe that ball bounced just before reaching him, or he's able to pull his hand back just in time, but none of the refs seem to be interested in calling out. A lot of the time, it's very difficult to tell, obviously. We've got one view, which is at the back of the court, not the ideal position. And that was nearly a catch and out, where the out was after being caught himself. Ball bobbled up and Bees player able to secure it. Another line fault. I think that's the second of this set. I think that was E getting called out for that. Newton left by himself. Still has a reasonable amount of time left of the frame. I believe about 25 seconds, a little bit longer. Only needs to hit out one player to even up the players on. Let's see what he can do.
They'll take their time in this. I think nothing needed in terms of the rush. Good timing, but bounce just before.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, he needs to rush things here. You knew when he's got two balls in his hand or on his side and he's running up court, you know something has to be rushed. Those dying seconds left on the clock.
Bees also having a coach in the box able to let their players know exactly how long's left of each frame, that they know they don't need to release those extra balls there. And I believe that's a little over 3 minutes left, so there will be 2 more frames, assuming our clock is spot on. And Sheriffs get the 3, and they've already got out Robbie Angel. So nice work. Not able to connect with a second 3-ball attack.
Bounces just before De Prestage as he goes on that low style dodge.
Yeah, it seems like this Bees team is almost playing a bit too cautiously. There seems to be a lot of throws that probably could be that little bit more aggressive in looking for a hit. Instead, they're going into the ground a lot of the time. And I believe that's how Pin hit out there, leaving it 4 on 6. So nice dodging and good covering work there from the Bees team, keeping Brew Cousins in.
And it's like we say in terms of, covering doesn't always have to be throw your ball in terms of putting off the opponent. Just, sort of that presence. You're standing in front of the player, you're giving those fakes. Is always putting off the opponent every second of the way, and that's a good hit.
That is another one. Lovely hit.
Just like that, the 6 on 4 turns into a 6 on 2. This will put Sheriffs up in the lead. Oh, and Paddock watches it every second.
That was a very early pre-throw there, very unlikely to pay off. And as I say that, Franklin, he managed to avoid 3 out of that 4-ball attack. Gets his hands to the last ball coming in, just not quite able to secure it.
I don't know what is, the whole of Nottingham Sheriffs had for breakfast, but whatever they had, I want some.
Yeah,
because they've been on form today throughout the whole squad.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a slow start that very first frame, but after that, they've been firing. And looks like another player called out to the middle line for the Bees team, so not ideal. I don't know quite what's happening over there, whether the refs are just particularly on it, or if the Bees players are just maybe a little too pumped. Oh, catch called. Lovely work there by Brew Cousins. Gets hit, ball pops up and is able to crawl his way to that ball and just about secure it before he hits the outside of the court, which does make him out. So nice work. Makes it a 5 on 4 for Bees, so maybe...
Oh, as you say that, Tim Day, 2 go out from the side of Sheriffs. Reeds didn't need to do anything, and I think a lot of people have shouted hold in that instance. He throws anyway, he gets the hit, secures any comfortability that they had already in that set, and they take the set points before the half.
Yeah, I believe that's 8-4 now, so probably not the result we would have, the scoreline we would have expected going into this. But this Sheriff's team is on fire right now. So is there anything in particular you see this Bees team just making a minor adjustment of that will make that scoreline a little bit closer?
I think they can afford to play a little more aggressive this second half. I think their single balls haven't been the greatest. They've been straight into chest, and Sheriffs throughout the club and this team in particular today have been catching sort of so much. Those single balls are not working and they're not aggressive enough. If you're throwing at chest, for me, in this sort of instance, and you're being caught, you really need to sort of change where you're throwing. At Bees now, they've got back net behind them and they're facing the wall. They can afford to throw a couple more double ball, two plays into.
Yeah, I think having that wall means that hopefully they'll start being more aggressive with their throws. They won't be going as low naturally because there is that chance to bounce back. It just allows you to be throwing more often, getting your eye in a little bit more than if you're playing to the net where you're almost certainly going to lose percent of the time. So hopefully that does change in the second half. But we have definitely seen larger turnovers than this before.
Absolutely.
And this Bees team does have a lot of experience both in players playing and the coaches and the retrievers around them. So hopefully some of what we've been saying has been said to them and they put on a bit more of a fight for the second half. Lot of cheers over on the other court. Don't know if you could hear that, but it does look like Raptors just clinched a set against Storm. I believe it was probably a very hype play, which will no doubt be entered into the Player of the Week competition. So if you do have any of your plays, then please do send them in. If you're not sure how to do that, where have you been, really? It's been plastered all over everywhere.
Exactly. Head to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all Dodge Central socials. You can find the competition there. Sponsored, obviously, by House of Dodge.
Yeah, very, very cool sponsorship there. And I believe even for entering, you do get a discount?
You do indeed, Tim. Yeah. 10% off checkout.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You do need a set of knee pads or anything else from their store?
And listen to this, if you win that competition, there's a £25 gift card.
Woo,
I know.
Nice.
Spicy. Back to the game at hand.
Yeah. So let's stop just plugging ourselves and talk about the dodgeball. The real reason we're here. The Sheriff's team down a player. No, I take it back. It was a one player each out for both teams. So, nice follow on that ball. Got very high, but not quite able to get underneath it. And does make Bees one player up. Coming up with 3 balls.
Up from Leeds on that left side. Now, Sheriffs do have to find that form they had ever so well in the first half, which put them in the lead, obviously.
Yeah, everyone always able to reset after the half-time gap, have that team to discuss what they need to do differently in order to come back into the game or secure their win. Ooh. Nice dodging by Key to slide across court, but unfortunately Cousins not able to get the blocker away. So does go out. Oh! That was it was there. It was there. Gets hit, able to palm the ball up, but just then almost slapped it away from himself.
Oh, Markland with a sliding catch. Perfect style. Cracks Dave Prestage's ball across.
Yeah, it's difficult there if you're that single ball pro, because you've tracked that player really well in following where he's going, but because he's on his knees, he is a good catcher.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's that you've almost done too well in tracking him that well. So B's looking very strong start of this. 2 players up. Sensible blocking gives Sheriffs the third. Nice low dodges 2 times. Just able to crouch into the floor, it seems. Get away from those. Almost certainly aware of the time that was left. Knew he didn't need to do anything, so just keeps himself in. Make sure they win by players on. Oh, now 8-6, and it's that shift that I think happens so often at the beginning of the second half. Team that's down suddenly makes those changes, and it's that first set is so important, because had Sheriffs won that, chances are B's heads drop a little, even if it's just a little bit, gives that Sheriff team a little more advantage in the game. But the fact that they were able to take that instead denies that bonus to the Sheriffs, and does make the score that little bit closer.
Newton jumps high over the single ball from Key on that left side.
Good height on that jump.
Yeah,
as well.
real nice.
Series of releases, but no one actually going out. I think it was 2 blocks and a dodge, so still the same 6-on-6. And of course, as soon as I say that, B's able to capitalise. They do get a hit onto the Sheriff's wing. Cheeky cross-court does get the hit. B's able to counter, but it does make it a 2-for-1 trade. So team even and done. Both of these teams seem so on it with their dodges. There is a lot of big lateral moves, people going low to the floor.
Plenty of agility throughout.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with both of these teams, especially this Sheriff's team. They are still in their relegation battle, and looking them play this game, I almost don't understand how. Like, they are playing so well.
Is that experience from players you've down that work so well? Up, he pops his ball up and he takes the catch, but Brew is hit out on the right side.
The ball bounce.
Yeah, okay. That's a fair call.
Brew wasn't sure whether his ball thrown at him hit the floor first before he sort of landed on top of it or didn't. Looks like the line ref is calling the player out for a hit. He slightly incredulous at that, but is what it is.
That was some good dodging and blocking, to be fair, but the line ref has called it out.
It's one of those ones where, because there are so many balls in the game, 5 balls going around, it is so reliant on both honesty and all of the refs working together that, yeah, there may be the occasional decision that's wrong, but it goes both ways. Alpin again able to just duck into the floor to avoid those throws. Able to give Bees, I believe, 4 balls. And
Punish Sheriffs in the
they decide they do not want to play for time there. They are getting that hit. Does it even it up as 8-all? So after so long of chatting about Bees can do, suddenly, actually Sheriffs that are now the team that need to hot off this momentum. Do you think it's worth looking at taking that time out?
I think they lose this next set, definitely. That then means they've lost, what, 3 on the back
in a row?
Yeah. It's always sort of when you use it. You use it in that first half and you then risk using it way too early. You don't have any gap for the second half. But they've taken their time. Halpin just tries to go against it. Newton flicks his legs, dodges out the way.
Oh, Cousins there looked a little unsure about which player was going to be releasing, chooses the wrong one and does get hit. Nearly made the catch anyway, as on the other side of the court, Robbie Angel does get hit out. Does make it one player up for Sheriffs. Block attack there was possible to look for a catch. Sheriffs players deciding they're going to make a catch, they want it to be a real one. Deciding to wait, but that is a lovely post throw.
He knows his sort of position, he's tracking back, and as Paddock is on his off foot, back foot.
Newton not in a high enough position there to necessarily punish P, which is probably why he decided to go for it. And actually, I almost have to say, much as we were hoping the Bees players aim a little higher, if these Sheriffs players aim a little bit lower, suddenly this dodging from the Bees team is not going to be anywhere near as effective. They're getting very low, getting pretty much flat to the floor a lot of the time. And actually, if those throws are looking to bounce around feet level, they're going to get those hits. And as soon as I say it, that's exactly what happens. Helping goes low, does get hit by that ball that was bouncing, and had he stayed on his feet, probably wouldn't have even faced him at all.
No, completely agree. Lucky there. I think that he's somewhat hit out by two balls deflecting into him. Yeah. So anyway, Sheriffs do take that set. No timeout needed. Go back into the lead, Timbo.
Yeah, it's still anybody's game. There's quite a lot of time left. I believe about a little over 5 minutes left. So at least 2 frames. So this is very key for the Bees team to either win this or leave themselves enough time for 2 frames afterwards.
And Brew Cousins hit out in that instant. Sort of, he set himself for that throw and he's got quite a wide stance on that instant.
I think that was him trying to be a bit cheeky there. He pushed wide to the right to then swing the ball back round to the left, but just left himself a bit too open, and the punishment wasn't there from the rest of the Bees team to get the hit after the free throw.
And Dave Prestage doing everything right on that right side.
Yeah, you see it so often, players like that. They get the free throw in to force someone to block, create that mismatched timings, and then sets himself for the catch of that ball coming in by itself. Forces a single, gets a catch. 6 on 2, so their Sheriffs team are really... They had a little lull at the start of the first half. Oh, that's just... Oh,
That's a nice catch.
A lovely catch, but it's also then the awareness of the rest of the team to finish off the one remaining Bees player. They just are able to finish the set off like that. Bees very sensibly taking the time out. They are 4 points down, so 2 frames required. And I believe about 4 minutes left. So
it's about time for MVP, I'd say, in this game.
Yeah. Do you like to do it, or are we going to...
I will say Dave Prestage. I think it's so hard, and we were saying earlier, it's when you are a good player, it's hard to always try and win that MVP because you're doing everything anyway. Sometimes the MVP looks at sort of who is going above and beyond, but I think John Wilkie said that if the player is off, is that the biggest impact? Yeah. So I think for me, Dave Prestage, he's brought a lot of experience into the team, done everything right. He's been very dominant on his left side. So maybe for the side of Bees.
I don't know. I think it may be Keys.
I would probably agree with that.
It's hard. They've been sort of flitting and changing as to who's been playing really well. You could make an argument for pretty much any of the players, not only currently on, but the 2 players who did get subbed off for being the MVP for this Bees team. But
I think we'll go Key.
Yeah, I think that's what we're sticking with. The vote for MVP will be going up very shortly, so... Not only makes the catch, but then didn't get hit by either of the balls released, and Sheriffs are then able to capitalise on those two balls with two singles up a winger each.
The single from Newton in the middle. Sheriffs have done everything right. You know, they might have lost those couple of sets at the back end of the first half and at the start of the second, but they've really started to sort of push themselves again, obviously after losing those 3 sets in a row. 1v5.
Yeah,
Sides against. Do you throw there or not?
Yeah. Personally, I always.
Yeah, personally, I always throw as well. But a good catch.
But it's also actually a 1v5 situation. You're almost okay to play for the time. Yes, there is a lot of time remaining, but you're still in such a commanding position that you're very likely to win it, even if you do give them a catch. He's able to get that middle ball with only 2 minutes left, looking very unlikely that they're able to win this. Nice work from the start of that set from Bees. I believe it was a 2-on-1 and then another follow-up hit as well, leaving 3 Sheriffs players who do each have a ball. So, good cross court there. Both wingers able to release. Yeah, he had a ball to block, but
buried tried to go under it instead. Yeah.
Yeah, he buried his head a little bit as well, which everyone tells you not to. And not entirely sure whether Robbie decided that he was going to play some football there. Just seemed to punt the ball across to the opposition. And yeah, despite it looking like Bees were in a very commanding, suddenly Sheriff's team have switched up a gear again.
Now they've got play 2 on the cards. They did have. There you go, and another one goes. Time's got to start ticking very shortly. A 2v5, 2v6 was it?
I believe it may have been a 2v6.
Yeah, they took Robbie out. They took another. Oh, and they get the standing on that. On the track back.
They've evened it up, and they've not made any catches. This is all just beautiful throwing, getting hits on these teams. Bees looking for a catch here. I think they're a bit worried about the time. They're trying to get in another set. There is only about 20 seconds left, so it's a hard ask.
A safe single sends the Bees player to the floor. Sheriffs have played so well this game, and you can't argue them taking the win in any instance.
Yeah, it's even just a sensible play there, actually realising I don't need to throw at all. We've got one safe throw, single throw, that'll do. They do manage to get the hit there, I think more because the Bees player is trying to go for anything else, but again, it's just these really safe, lovely throws. Oh. And was called in the hit there.
2v6. The 2 end up coming victorious. They take another set. Sheriffs done everything right, and I believe this win will make them comfortably not be relegated.
Yes, due to the points difference, I think that they should now be relatively safe. Mathematically, there is still the possibility that they do still get relegated, but I mean, if they're going to play like this, I want to see them really be pushing to be promoted next season. Like, this has been such good play by all of the Sheriffs team, and as I say that, like, the MVP votes, I can see them on our screen, and there is only one winner here, and it is the Sheriff's team. Obviously, they prestige the player that we've selected, but really, it is a team game, and they have performed as a team and just smashed it.
Big team diff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brew Cousins is hit out in that. Bees are up, obviously, that one player, but there is not enough time, I would say, on the clock for them to make the comeback. The whistle goes, they draw the last set. It's a 17-8 victory to Sheriffs. I believe that now makes them mathematically impossible not to be relegated. Because now they go 2 up above Thunderdodge. Thunderdodge would have to win their last game. But
Yes.
even if they won their last game,
They would then be on
set
points difference,
yeah. But there you go. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to Dodge Central. My name's been Greg Whitehouse.
I'm Tim Day. Thank you very much for joining us. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Hello and welcome to our third game of Men's League One, joined by Sam Warble and
Matt Wheel. Hello.
Hello again. Happening in this court now is Spartans 2 versus Leeds Owls, which should be a good match. There's not a huge amount of change in the table, but there's about a couple of circumstances that can be a little bit of flexibility.
Spartans 2 currently sitting in second place, can't catch Nighthawks, could potentially be overtaken by Cyclones unless they secure even 1 point in this game, would do it for them. And Leeds also trying to chase sixth to get past Bedford Rangers 2, but again, Leeds have just got to try and win this game and hope that Rangers lose theirs. So a small positional fight, but not relegation or... Oh, well, I guess there's a battle for silver, bronze medal.
Yep.
Spartans got to keep their position, keep that silver.
And yeah, it looks like Spartans are now down 4 versus 6. 3 versus 6 as I speak. Doherty getting called out there for a line fault. There was a catch on the side of Leeds as well. So a good start for the Leeds.
Lineups here looking pretty standard. You've got on the Leeds side, Ted Dumble in the number 1 spot, the long-standing Leeds player. Aiden there throwing in the middle on the Leeds side.
Nick Garland as well rounding out the throws there on the right.
Spartans 2 with a couple of players who arguably also first team players. Are quite a strong squad here. Lewis Diggins actually just going out there from the free throw, I think. Played a lot with the first team this season as well. Really good middle player, very agile. Jonathan Wilkie with some similar agility there. Hard to hit, fast on the counter.
3 balls here for Spartans, down 6-2, so not the start they were wanting. Just Wilkie and Keys left in for Spartans.
No, definitely not. Strong start from Leeds, hoping that's indicating quite a battle in this game. You know, Leeds putting up a good fight. They can absolutely take any team in the league on a good day. Even Nighthawks, who've been so strong. There's some quality in Leeds that if they really pull it off, then they're absolutely up at that level.
Just down to Wilkie now. 2 balls, let's see if he can make anything happen here. Or might just sort of resign himself to the...
Looks for the free throw. Drops down for the catch. I like the first ball there going in like as a bounce because it can just kind of draw your attention away, and then that second one comes in at the right height to make the hit. I think the last thing you want to do is be the first ball on target in like the center mass, because you just put yourself at being you put yourself at risk of being catch and then out, or even a catch on a block and a catch on a dog. If you're going to go early, you definitely should not put it in the middle.
No. Wise words. Wise words. So yeah, a 2-0 start for Leeds here. Back to 6 on 6. Michael Coates has swapped out to the wing for Leeds here.
Former Carmarthen Wizards player, been with them, I think, all of this season. I don't think last season.
Yeah, so he was with you last season. At the end of last
of course, yeah, of course.
Yep. So he was at Bees for the end of last season after starting with Wizards, and now it seems to have settled at Leeds for this season.
Two ball attack there into the middle. Takes a rebound off Doherty and hits Keys out as well.
Yeah, it's really not starting well for Spartans here. Down 4 players already. Free throw out there from Garland, not making contact with a nice block from Diggins.
See Leeds come forward with a 3 now.
Oh!
For a single into the middle. Spartans do get the avenge, but a trade here is going to be better for Leeds being 2 players up.
Yeah, taking out Diggins there, and Michael Coates goes out as well. Nice block there from Wagstaff.
Leeds look for the single again, but Tetley steps to the side. Not looking too aggressive now. Last thing Leeds want to do is put a single straight into the middle. Great shot from Tetley.
Onto Wagstaff there on the wing. Skip going through his block. The boy back to a 4v3 now.
Leeds not wanting to open things up really and like make things crazy, and Spartans just happy to try and like chip away at the player difference with single throws and not rushing or anything. No pre-throws coming out just yet. See that sometimes when teams go down, they tend to throw out the pre-throws. Just some fakes from the Spartan side. Again, Leeds looking for a single.
Yeah.
A couple of players up, sometimes you might see Leeds go for a 2-ball attack or something like that, but at the minute they're just also... Oh no. The block in the middle from Wilkie from the pre-throw pops up and across and just bonks Tetley right on the shoulder.
That seems to be Spartan's worst nightmare this game, just getting these...
Yeah, that's 2 double hits this set already.
Some nice blocking from Wilkie. Nice block out from Nick Ball, and get taken out by the 2-ball counter.
Tries to go for the kind of no look, pull it across, but Nick Ball is ready and waiting for it and gets the block off. I think there's enough time on the clock where that's probably a little too aggro. One hits a
hit call there from Paul. So Leeds take a very early 4-0 start here. Looking quite comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think Spartans have done too much wrong. They've made a couple of hits to like pull the lead back, but then Leeds making the most of the player advantage to kind of finish things off.
Yeah, they're just going down very early, very quickly.
Yes, exactly. Earlier on in the set, an unlucky double hit, a couple of hits in kind of like in the basket area against Spartans that I think they'd expect themselves to be able to take. So if they can hone that in, then they might feel a bit stronger about it. But like, no discredit to Leeds, and absolutely doing their job and making the hits.
And for that, now Spartans are now up for the first time in this match. Single ball onto Coates there, taking him out quite nicely. Free throw out from Wolf, not finding purchase.
Oh, a very aggressive free throw from Wolf. It leaves himself very exposed, and Spartans are there to avenge. But then a catch from Wagstaff on the second throw. Absolutely solidly taken, brings Michael Coates back in, and back to 5-on-5. Leeds not giving Spartans too long to enjoy their lead.
No, back to a 5-on-5 now, with Taylor going out for that catch.
Wagstaff gets low, gets the block off.
3 balls for Leeds now.
Is there a play ball on that? It was a very late throw there from Paul.
I don't know. I think he was just trying to catch people unawares. But nice block, managed to keep himself upright. Looked like he might have fallen over there, but...
Single down the middle. Not too dangerous at this point. Again, it's kind of quite a balanced point in the game. You throw a catch and suddenly you're 6-4 down. Can be a bit of a nightmare. So you look for outside of the body hits, legs or shoulders. Try and like track that dodge. Sometimes they don't dodge. You look like a bit of an idiot. Ooh, we're right there. That single there from Dave Poole comes in just off the body of Michael Coates. Only about 10 centimeters or so in it before it's just kind of clipping the shoulder. That's the kind of hit that you're looking for.
Block out from Garland there as well. but the ball ricochets back. So 3 balls again for Spartans. Just the single game at the moment, it really seems like.
Yeah, just testing the waters on both teams. Spartans opt to take a 2-ball throw, try and get the hit. Leeds spot that and sprint back up for the counter, but Josh Keys there with a lovely throw and flatten dodge afterwards.
So it was only Nick coming up for the Garland there. Oh, and a lovely ball down to Diggins.
Yeah, Leeds as well going with the 2-ball attack. I think both teams move. Falling a little bit impatient with the single ball attacks, they're thinking.
And Wagstaff takes another hit, and then a double hit.
Wagstaff takes the hit, and then the second ball comes in, hits him on the knee, and bounces off onto Nick's ball.
So yeah, Wolf comes back in for Leeds, but also 3 players in that exchange go out for Leeds.
But a hit on Keys as well, and the catch from the Leeds side keeps things even, and then
Doherty makes a catch.
Wow.
Very last minute resurgence there from Spartans to take that set. You could have I think there must have been a bit of miscommunication there from Leeds. They could have maybe just thrown it wide if they only knew there's only 5 seconds left on the clock.
That's the exact kind of single that's a bit of a nightmare when you even especially towards the end of the set. Unfortunately, I don't imagine his throw was intended to go straight down
the gullet of
the middle of his gut, but Doherty takes no prisoners, makes the most of it, and in the last second wins the set for Spartans.
Quick start, not finding anything out there from Poole, just hitting the ball retriever for Leeds. And Michael Coates catches Tetley there. Lovely take. Tetley's not having a great start to this game.
Yeah, it's a good grab from Coates. It's not straight down the middle. It's slightly off body, but he's just kind of pulled it back in to take the catch. Although it does only. The thing is with a catch when you got 6 on 6, the only thing you do is get a player out. You don't get a player back in, which means 1 hit back from Spartans has evened things up again at 5 on 5.
Then Doherty just gets hit back out as well, and Poole gets hit as well from a nice standing from Garland. So Spartans quickly lose 2 more players.
Wilkie looking for the foot of Coates there. Coates just lifts up, gets out of the way.
Block from Wagstaff.
Leeds playing that patient game, being 2 players up, looking for a hit on ball, see if they can kind of get that snick. Trying to draw out the pre-throw maybe to try and get an advantage.
Yeah, but then just
some teams go different strategies at this point. Some teams in Leeds' position might throw 2 balls, say down the middle or at ball like that. Which indicates that they're backing their 3-ball attacks. They're trying to solidify the hits. Even if Spartans come back with a hit, they just take the trade. And other teams, maybe what Leeds are looking towards here is to try and get in a situation where they have 2 balls and then open things up when Spartans take their attack here. So if Spartans throw 1 ball, you might see Leeds come back with a counter. Garland looks for it, but doesn't fancy his chances. Diggins in the middle of Spartans' team, covering Wilkie well enough.
Still a bright player for Leeds.
And then Leeds looking for that 2-ball attack, but Josh Keys with a nice block and just pops his feet out the way of the second one.
So 4 balls now in the hands of Spartans. 1 player down, see if he can make a hit now. They go for Nick Garland, but he jumps so high and managed to get the block onto the last ball, so some real athleticism there from Garland.
It's one thing to jump that high, but then I think after the first couple of balls come by, it's quite easy to kind of take your eye off it. But he gets the block on the 3rd and keeps his ball nice and high and strong. So Leeds now will take 3 balls.
This set is very much coming to an end soon. Oh yeah, I think Wilkie realised it as well, trying to go for the catch.
That's a good decision to go for that one.
Yeah, so 2 players up, about 5 seconds left of this set, so...
Double free throw comes in.
And managed to weather the free throws there from Leeds, and take another set. So Leeds now up 6-2.
Both teams playing a very slow
timeout
game.
Called. I believe that's going to be on the side of Spartans.
Yeah, both teams are very slow games so far. Leeds, I think in 3 out of the 4 sets have gone up quite a bit and really not kind of pushed for the finish. They're kind of confident in their survival. that Spartans aren't going to come back strong enough, or go for the singles, that they can just kind of sit on a 2 or 3 player lead. And then Spartans trying to do exactly that, trying to get the single throws back, not open up things too much, but just to try and like chip back away at the lead in time.
Yeah, but the Spartans just aren't making the hits on the.
Yeah, exactly. They're not chipping away quite enough just yet.
No, and then Leeds just sit with 3, often throw a single, and then just reset again.
Yeah.
Like nothing. They don't need it. They're up. They know they're up, and they obviously got to Spartans because they're taking this quite early time out, to be honest.
Yeah. There's a couple of things they might do from here. One of which is start throwing 2 balls. If Spartans go down a couple of players and they're struggling to make those single ball hits, instead throwing 2 balls, trying to make sure of the hit. In which case, Leeds may retaliate by taking more of their running counters. If Spartans are throwing 2 balls, that leaves them exposed to more lethal running counters at ball or off ball. The other thing Spartans might do is just have a bit of a talk and be like, we're not hitting our singles, let's hone things in, and start going a little more aggressive, start testing the catches of Leeds. And on our own side, let's try not to go down by a couple of players at the start. We've got these catches in us in the middle. If they're not quite coming off, let's try and get out of the way a little bit more of it.
So yeah, Diggins out, hit by a single there. Looks like Leeds have made a couple of changes. Green's on it, and Ted Dumbbell got socks on as well. But a lovely...
Good awareness there from Paul, from the slight moment of lapse in concentration.
a lack
of lapse of concentration. Good single there onto the knee. That's more what Spartans are needing. That nice kind of aggressive shot onto the shin. Not straight down the middle, because Wagstaff's been taking a couple of catches. You got to be careful with it, but that placement onto the knee is great. And speaking of placement,
yeah, Telly blocks it into his own foot there. It looks like. So not great out of him. 4-on-4, and a nice little dainty jump there from Wolf to get over the 2 balls. Very elegant.
I'm going to take 4 though.
Yeah.
Oh, 3. Sorry, I thought.
I think they threw 2 and then 1 got thrown back.
I see.
Very low there from Coates.
Yeah, a little duck under.
I did enjoy the flick of hair when it comes back up.
Oh, Ted looking for the placement there. Not the most powerful throw you've seen, but if you get that right on the toes, there's nothing you can do about it on that front planted foot. He is agile player, pops out the way of it.
So 3 balls now in the hands of Leeds. I imagine they'll probably just throw a single here.
It seems to be their current game plan.
Yep. And would you look at it? There's a single.
And again, Coates looking for the placement there.
And
Spartans come back.
Poole throwing a ball though.
I think with the power of Dave Poole's throws there, I think I would have liked to see a throw off ball at 3 or 4 as they were stood there.
Yeah, even at Coates, who was on the back track.
Yeah, pushing them back. I think they're not wanting to kind of push for those opportunities on the counter. That's not a bad throw, it's just off body. But it's a bit more, it's fairly aggressive. Fairly.
Yeah.
Again, you still not the time of the game where you need to be throwing like at people's baskets, taking that risk of being caught.
Oh, and that's a draw out from Leeds, and half time. Half time. So a very good first half out from Leeds. 7-3 up. So I don't think there's really much to be complained about there.
No, I think from the Spartan side as well, that kind of transition set into the half time, keeping that to a draw, not going out. Well, a couple of outs from single and then a throw through block. It's not too terrible, but getting the hits back against Leeds as well. Yes, the set was a draw and they're still down, but they've kind of like stemmed that bleeding for now. And if they can kind of take that momentum, pivot into staying alive even better, being a bit more confident on the hits, I think there's a couple of opportunities that they can turn into a couple of chances that they could try and take as well on the after throws and the counters at throwing at open targets rather than at ball.
Spartans too, as a team, do tend to come out quite strong after the break. They were I think they were 11-3 down against Cyclones and ended up drawing that game.
Yeah. A lot of experience, a lot of On the Leeds side as well, you do have people like Ted Dumbo on the from played for Scotland for a long time, experienced player. On the Spartan side as well, you've got people like Ryan Neely and David Poole. I can't believe I just forgot the name of. I was like, don't say Jack, it's David Poole. But a lot of international experience on both sides with a big half-time.
Yeah, some new international players as well, with Keys as well.
Yeah.
And so
I think that's some of the. It's interesting to see the that in some teams, like Meteors in the Super League. I've always given it as an example of like some of the best halftime talks that you'll see. The experience of the international players of people like Brett Koenig and Nathan David and stuff like that. Being able to analyse the game at halftime and change up your strategy is absolutely huge.
Give a quick update on the other courts. We've got Rangers 2 versus Cyclones. I believe it's 7-3 up to Cyclones. Score.
Which I think is big for Leeds.
Yeah. So this would put them on even points if Leeds continue to win this game.
You know what? Actually, this is exactly what we were talking about. With Cyclones currently winning, that gives Leeds the opportunity to overtake.
Yep.
And it also gives Cyclones the opportunity to take silver off Spartans.
Yeah.
If Spartans don't bring this game back, then they're in a bit of hot water. That means that's going to put the reliance on their second game that they have to win it. So as things stand, 7-3 in both games, both in the way that means that Leeds could take, what did I say, 7th? 8th? 6th?
6th.
Leeds could take 6th, and Spartans are
maybe
potentially losing the silver medal.
Automatic promotion as well.
Yeah, a lot of time left for Spartans to turn things around. If they're approaching the second half. Kind of improves the start of the sets a little bit. Well, they'll love that for the start. Ooh, okay. I don't hate that. A lot of teams there might want to take 4 balls, but what are you going to do with 4 balls? You can go and make a hit. They have a nice coordinated double counter there, trying to hit Ted, but he's better to it with a block. I think they did get a hit on Nick. Maybe it was a line fall at the back.
Oh, nice free throw there onto Oven.
Really nice free throw.
Onto Doherty, sorry, from Gossel Dunhall. Ooh.
It's a good pre-throw there to delay the throw, and then the throw comes into Garland's hands, into the basket, but unfortunately just rattled a little bit, and then the second ball came in, knocked it straight out. But yeah, absolutely brilliant for Spartans. Great catch in the middle. Technically very, very pleasing catch there. Jumping up, but keeping that nice concave basket shape. Not throwing his body around too much, and takes it well. Tetley, unfortunately, unable to follow in his lead. They have to throw. Takes the hit. Spartans to take 4 balls. They'll be very happy with that. Ooh, 3 balls to the right side.
Let's just get out of the way of that. 4 balls now for Leeds. 3 players down. I imagine they probably won't panic too much. Go for these, try and get some cheap hits, but who would you throw to on the Spartan side? Because all of them can catch.
Yeah,
well.
that's. I'm looking at this Spartan side. That's kind of the problem. You've got at least 3 players whose speciality has been very agile. Yep. I'm not putting Doherty in that bucket because, from what I've seen in the past, Doherty's bucket is a catcher, and like,
yeah.
So where do you put those singles when there's 2 of you left? You can't be as aggressive as you might like because they're going to kind of push you back, and they're happy with a trade. Just like that, Doherty's happy to go for a trade.
But it doesn't make it.
But Leeds have done really well there to kind of survive it.
Oh!
So instead, maybe you do that and look at a target at ball to try and get them as they're dodging. Here we go. Oh, okay. I think one of them missed.
Yeah, that was a bit...
Very aggressive from the Leeds side to try and turn it around there.
And yeah, Keys coming up with the... Yeah, I don't really know who actually made the hit there.
One of them definitely missed.
Yeah, I actually thought the balls collided, but...
but they do make the hit on Coates at the front there. Neither of them really wanted to throw like into the basket. That's the reason why Coates is up the court there. He's looking to draw out a throw for them, and you see it happen plenty of times. The thrower gets a bit too excited, tries to absolutely bury it into their chest or gut, and then it just sticks. It just stays in there. They make the catch. But Keys came up to support his teammate just to make sure that he didn't get caught. And, you know, it's better to miss there than to be caught. So that's not the worst thing. So that takes us to 7-5. Spartans still very much in this game. On the other court as well, 7-5 to Cyclones. So Rangers have brought back another set.
Oh, I think the Wizards Derby game isn't going great for Derby. I think it's 11-1.
11-1. Yeah, Wizards very strong over there.
Yeah, that's a good showing from them.
Mustangs up 6-4 against Wessex 2.
Yeah, Mustangs are definitely one
Give
to
them
win
good
this.
catch from Poole there.
But then
Catch then hit caught. Catch then out called. Oh no.
So I think there was the catch, and then Telly goes for a fish.
3 balls thrown there from the Spartan side, and the retriever hit in the face. That's unfortunate.
It's hard work being a retriever. Yeah. Dangerous work.
4 balls from the lead side. They'll opt to throw 2.
Diggins gets clipped.
I really like that strategy. Diggins is a fantastic dodger, and the way that you play against that. The way that you play against that is to try and draw out their dodge with 1 throw, and then throw slightly later to catch them in the movement. And that's exactly what they did there.
Very nice placement there. Good ball tracking. So. It gives Leeds a 4-3 lead.
So this is what we've seen in the first half. This is how Leeds have won the game so far, is to go a player or 2 up and then just stretch it out. And not looking for an aggressive finish to throw 2 balls to hit a player out. What we're likely going to see is single ball attacks, and Spartans are going to have to work to pry them open, like find an opportunity to get hit back.
A lot of fakes as well.
Yeah. That's not an aggressive throw. I think that is intentionally off the ball. Spartans now, they really need to make this count, make the singles count.
I'd throw 2 balls here if I was Spartans, which they do.
Yeah. Wolf gets the block, but the late throw gets the hit. Unfortunately, I think Wolf there came across a little bit too much, and he actually blocked Nick Bull from being able to counter with him, which might have helped them kind of secure that hit there.
Just sails past the head of Doherty.
So perfect from Spartans then, exactly what they wanted. They didn't get the hit on the 2-ball attack, but they threw a late one as a Leeds player comes forward, maybe a little bit too aggressively. But Spartans capitalise, even things up. Free throw bounces, and that's time.
Okay.
Both teams probably fairly happy there.
Yeah.
Maybe Leeds hoping that they'd hung on to that for sure, but a draw is certainly not.
It's better than being even on the sets now. It's 8-6. About halfway through the second half, so.
Rangers 2 even things up at 7-7 against Cyclones.
Yeah, wow. That's a close game.
Yeah. Late throw from Dave there, probably just trying to avoid being having play too cold in them. Also getting an attempt off. Leeds will take the first 3-ball attack. Not too aggressive, just trying to find that off-body hit again.
We haven't seen any of Fleming on the side of Spartans this game, have we? He appears to be in the outball. He's subbed off, but...
I think this is... Spartans have talked about this a little bit before, and I think while commentating is their general subbing strategy is... it's not quite like rotation-based, it's semi-performance-based.
Yeah.
What they think they need at the time, which is what you see in most professional sports.
Yes, so now, Spartans take a 6-2 lead, 6-4 lead up now.
Good height single there. I think it's just bounced before, but that's the kind of area that you're looking for.
So we'll have to see how Leeds do from behind here.
Yeah, and whether Spartans go, what kind of strategy Spartans go with, where they're going to throw 2 balls, go aggressive, try and finish the set. Looking for the cross court there.
Wagstaff's just very hard to hit, just in general.
Yeah.
If he's got a ball, it's usually a good block. If he hasn't got a ball, he's probably going to catch it. So, interesting choice to target, but I guess shutting him down as well on the counter is probably...
A hard to hit player, like looking for a cross court when they're not paying too much attention. Not the worst idea. Good block there on the Wagstaff side. After throw comes across from Ted Dumble, but doesn't find his target. Leeds now on the side of trying to claw this back. Spartans on the side of happy to throw singles, happy to waste the time. Look for those those hits on foot or something against the ball holder, which slows them down and doesn't give them much of a chance to kind of come back. And wait till Leeds make a mistake.
Yeah.
I don't hate Leeds throwing 2 balls, but on the Spartan side, they've done well enough to just take the 4. And now they're going to capitalise.
Yeah, I'm sure they were hoping for a hit there and then maybe getting 1 ball back. But
Yeah.
luckily, not too costly in the end. Managed to get 3 balls.
Clock on about 25 seconds left.
Yeah. So Spartans don't need to do anything here. They just throw 1 more ball, probably.
I think when they had 4 balls there, they even went with 2 balls at ball, just to try and pin the ball holder down. Not caring too much about the hit. Ooh.
Nice cover out there.
Ball popping up from the block. Wagstaff going up to try and take the catch. It was a last-ditch effort to win the set, but Spartans covering, make the hit before he can get there.
Yeah, good awareness from Tedley to make sure that ball's not getting caught.
Good effort from Wagstaff. I think that was.
I
agree. I think that was probably one of the only chances they had to turn that set around last second.
So now it's 8-8. Spartans having a very good second half. Let's see if Leeds can sort of edge this over. We've got at least 2 sets here. I imagine it'll probably go the full 2 sets, just cause.
Oh, quick start from Spartans, gets the hit on Ted.
On Nick Ball, I believe. Two hits there.
I think Nick might have been hit like through the crowd of
so
on the other side. Might be wrong, but and a catch from Lewis. Catch is given, catch there now, I believe.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So
as he's backtracking, catches the first and then
gets hit on his back. So
hit by the second 2. Lovely take. Wagstaff close to the double block, but can't quite pull it off. Spartans now taking a commanding lead in this set.
Yeah, this is 5-2 up. It's only been 40 seconds. Nice block from Poole.
This is the other way to play the set. Probably when there's still quite a lot of time left in the set. You don't want to be if it's quite early in the set and you take a lead, you might waste too much time and end up throwing a catch or something like that. If you try and throw too many safe throws, it's a bit of a risk. So the other way to play it is just try and end the set.
Just hit him.
Yeah, just hit him. Bit of time wasting there, like safe throw. Just waiting for a better opportunity like that.
Yeah, 4 balls now for Spartans.
Yeah.
Probably throw 3 here.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I think earlier on in the set, it's not enough time to waste just yet. Nice.
2 balls on Garland there.
Aggressive throws once they get that pre-throw out.
So just Walker left now.
Yeah, Garland trying to make something happen. I think it's a good time to do that.
Oh, and he goes for the catch. Walker goes for the catch. So we might, I believe we'll probably have just under 3 seconds. Timeout called.
So again, I think a good time for Leeds to try and go for something. If they don't make it happen, if they don't pull it off, then there still leaves over 2 sets left.
Yeah.
The end of it. Which means that they can still pull a win back.
I think he's saying there's 3 minutes and 1 second there.
3 minutes and 1 second.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 1 second.
Okay, that means we are guaranteed to have a 2 more sets.
Dom does love his seconds, so some of the other refs may have just been like, okay, we've got 3 minutes left, but no, Dom's making sure. But on the other court, Rangers 2 are actually leading 9-7 against MK Cyclones.
Currently 2 players up to 1 as well. They're looking to end the set. That looked like a bounce to me. Hit is called though.
Hit is called, so yeah.
They end that set to go 11-7 up. Unfortunately, I think that might, unless there's enough time left, that might mean the end of Leeds and Cyclones' chances.
Yeah, wins here for for Rangers puts them enough out of the way of Leeds that they can't be caught and stop Cyclones even contesting second. So the table's starting to solidify out now. So 2 games left of today. Well, 4 games on 2 calls. Well, I think maybe by the end of the next game we'll probably know where everyone's finishing.
I think so, yeah. Hey, Leeds got 3 minutes and 1 set.
They have, yeah.
I'm not rooting for either team in particular. I just want to see a great game of dodgeball, and that's what I want to see. I want to see Leeds take the set, and I want to see it go to a final minute set.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Not as a player.
Nice low placement there from Josh Keys. Nick Bull unable to find the catch.
Yeah.
Plenty of time left for...
Okay, so we need to start thinking of some MVPs here, which I honestly don't know. I feel like across both teams, the team just in general have been playing quite well.
I think we've seen Wagstaff do quite a bit.
I'd say Wagstaff for Leeds and maybe Poole for Spartans. Like I said, it could go to quite a couple of people.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Poole and Wagstaff.
So now, after even while we've been talking about that, once again, Spartans going with the slower approach to this set.
They're just gonna.
Yeah, it's still only they're only a player up. It's not a huge lead. They're just looking for. Well, Poole there trying to take advantage of Garland not being quite ready with the ball. They're just looking for one more player advantage before they might start going a bit more aggressive. But one player up can change very quickly. But they keep taking those singles, keep trying to throw off body. Happy to throw a ball and waste time there as well. It seems like they'd be happy to win the set 6-5 in 3 minutes exactly.
Yeah, they don't need the hits. If they go down, which...
Oh, and again...
4 balls now in the hands of Spartans.
Yeah, I think maybe a bit early from Leeds there to be throwing 2 balls. I think you got a few more plays before you need to start pushing it. And the aggressive free throw again is gonna be punished by Spartans.
About a minute left of the set now as well.
One of the hardest things to do is to take a catch after a free throw, or take any kind of move. You're just so like set in your movement. And I think people always I do this a lot, overestimate how much I'm going to be able to dodge after I free throw.
Yeah, especially if you're still in the movement and it just comes straight at you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it's going.
Now Spartan's gonna
catch made from
single.
Ted Goshawk dumbbell there.
And the second one, the bounce, I think that's what the refs are calling. So great catch from Ted, even things up.
5v5 here.
It's quite a huge change.
4v5.
They made the hit with 4 balls, throwing 2 onto the right hand side. It's a huge swing for Leeds.
I think there's about 20 seconds here as well.
Spartans need a hit.
Which
there it is.
They found out
Leeds going to come back. No hits there on the revenge.
3 balls now for Leeds. Oh. Okay, so...
And I think with that, Spartans celebrate. They have not yet won the game, however, I think they have won silver. I think they've confirmed the victory there. And if I'm reading lips successfully, I think that was Ryan Neely as the ball retriever saying, "Okay, now you've done the silver medal. Go and win this flipping game."
Leeds can only manage a draw here, which I'm sure they'd like to finish their season, but...
So what I'm expecting in this 1 minute set?
Chaos.
I'm expecting one team to make a hit.
And that's it.
And then about 55 seconds of single ball attacks to try and claw it back. We'll see. Spartans with the first opportunity to take the lead.
And makes the hit onto Garland.
They do. Oh, Coates looking for the after throw.
And gets taken out by...
the cover from Spartans is good. So Leeds now are going to have to go aggressive. Spartans are going to play it as slow as they can. Oh, and then nice late throw.
From ball there.
The Spartans come forward with the counter, but the team calls them back. They don't need this. They don't need to be aggressive.
4 balls here.
They might even throw something safe here. They'll probably throw at ball. 2 into the middle. A catch and out call.
Catching out on the ball, so...
I believe. Yeah, I think Garland came back in. Yeah, Garland came back in from the catch.
2 hits there.
2 hits.
I don't think anyone else went out for
One more needed for Leeds. One more needed for Leeds.
Wolf going up there.
Don't throw a ball. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Garland looks for the hit.
Gets taken out by...
Oh, and I think that hit is after the whistle. Leeds cheering. I think the refs are going to have a discussion here.
I don't think anyone went out for the catch on Nick Bull.
I think that's what you were talking about. I think that's what they sorted out later on in the set, that from Nick Bull's catching out. A plug there for the podcast. Late Eagles
neutrals
catching
are
out. No one had gone out yet, so then the rest called them out late, which meant Spartans ended up with only 2 players on court when they thought they had 3. And the hit on Garland up court was after the whistle, definitely. So Leeds still have 3 players.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see how this one's out. Either way, yeah.
Both teams, I think, happy with the result either way. Spartans take the silver medal. Leeds solid in their 7th place, especially with the result on the other court, which is 13-9 Rangers to
11-all, the final score there.
11-all. So
11-all.
Leeds do take that set.
So, a nice point out for Leeds. But well done for Spartans for sort of.
Yeah, hey, they're beating second in the league. Drawing to second in the league. Really good result there from Leeds. Spartans, perfectly happy with the bit of a comeback there as well, and then securing the silver medal. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, and
if I've done my math right, I might not.
I think you're right. And yeah, so Rangers did end up beating Cyclones, which
I think that again, like we were saying, that solidifies their 5th place.
Yeah, and so the winner of MVP is James Wagstaff. So I think that's well deserved. Just an all-round good performance out from him. Like we said, it could have gone to a number of people, but congratulations to him.
Next up, we're going to have Worker Bees versus Thunderdodge.
So yeah, we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Stick around.
Goodbye.
and gentlemen, welcome back.
Yeah, I think given us valid from the refs.
And there's a curse, and no head. Worcester does. And the last second, Storm managed to.
Hello and welcome to some more games from Men's League One here at St George's Park. We're just about to watch Manchester Worker Bees versus Thunderdodge. Both of these teams' last game of the season, so it should be a good match. I don't think there's much ability for movement within the table, but I'm sure both teams want to end on a high. You're joined by Sam from Sheriffs.
And Sam from Sheriffs.
So,
let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, so Thunderdodge praying for a bit of a miracle here. So there is still a bit of a permutation in which Thunderdodge can stay up with a win in this game, a loss for Sheriffs 2, and a set difference swing of 46 points. So
this needs to be an absolute.
It ain't over till it's over, but this is pretty close to being so.
Yeah. It's been a funny season for Dodge. We've had a lot of players in and out. Some players from like Berkshire as well. So
nice catch from Sanderson in the middle to start things off. Yeah, I think Thunderdodge will probably benefit from a little bit of stability in Men's League 2 if they don't produce the unthinkable. Remains to be seen.
Unthinkable. Sounds a bit biased there, Sam. I don't know why, but yeah. So 6-4 up now for Bees. Getting hits there onto Bradbury.
Yeah, nice one from Franklin. Good disguise on the throws from Angel and Cousins on the wings, providing a lot of cover from the middle release. Yeah, the two wingers in this Worker Bees side certainly boasting a lot of experience and have been playing in their first throughout. I think to really galvanise their Worker Bees team today.
Cousins has had a couple of stints on the second team. This is Angel's first.
Coming back from injury a little bit. Yeah, Ravinsky can't make the block from Blessed Williams' free throw. Doesn't get through with it. Only one player advantage for Bees. Wilson looks for helping. Yeah, a bit of a chaotic exchange resulting in a hit from Cousins. 2-player advantage for Bees. He rolls onto Blessed Williams, makes the block. Bit of a road counter from Wilson. Doesn't find the mark of Franklin in the middle.
3 balls here now for Thunderdodge. Helping dodging out of the way again. Got quite a athletic middle, haven't they?
Yeah, tough to hit, certainly. Yeah, even more difficult when the wings are applying that much pressure. 2 balls on Wilson, doesn't make the hit. Double counter at different targets, then leaves Lesser Williams vulnerable to Cousins. They do make the hit on Angel, to be fair. So a trade that
Still 2 players advantage.
benefits Bees in some respect, retaining the player advantage, but Angel's a big player for them to lose. Double counter again from Dunford, and Wilson doesn't make the mark on Sanderson.
Now with 3 balls, 2 players advantage. Imagine a 2-ball throw here. I'll throw 3 balls
and a catch from Wilson, and he survives the back line in addition.
So it's now a 3-player 3-on-3 now. And this is that.
Some heroics from Wilson to tie that first set.
Yeah. Wilson's only just recently come back from injury, hasn't he?
I think he's actually moved. I think he lived at, yeah, I think he's moved up to Scotland a fair while ago, but still like happy to play for his home club on occasion.
Yeah.
And yeah, on that evidence, I think Thunderdodge more than happy to have him, and he follows it up by making the hit on Halpin at the start.
Yeah, great start here.
2 hits in fact. Key's gone as well.
Yeah, Key getting subbed on this set, immediately goes off again.
Good dodging for Dunford. Searching release from Cousins, doesn't make the mark.
Three balls now for Bees, 2 players down.
Still early doors. Free throw for Blessed Williams, leaves himself vulnerable to Cousins, who does make the follow-up hit.
Oh, Bees made a 2-player change as well. Angel's off as well.
Yeah, already at this early stage.
They may be doing a set off each, possibly.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, Worker Bees with not a huge amount to play for, I think are going to be more than happy to just rotate amongst their players to make sure they get even game time. Bounce for Cousins given calls, lost control. Yeah, it's difficult to tell whether the ball bounced before it dislodged his blocking ball, but he's gone in any case. Thunderdodge restore their 2-player advantage. Two-player advantage to Thunderdodge. Could probably afford to throw a 2-ball attack here if they wanted to.
Oh, nice.
One's enough from Dunford.
Onto Sturkland. Bradbury gets traded out there as well, but yeah, still
1 for 1 that Thunderdodge won't be too unhappy with.
2-player advantage.
Only 1 ball today to play with. 2-ball attack coming in from Bees probably. Only a single. Or eventually a double. Yeah, not the best use of possession from Ravinsky and Franklin, I think that is.
Yeah.
Free throw
Nice
comes
block
in.
for number 4 there on Thunderdodge.
And helpfully with no name.
I know he used to play for Coventry Uni.
Very good. Well, there you go.
Warbles hot facts. Oh, Franklin there.
Brilliant catch from Franklin. Yeah.
Brings helping back in on a 3-on-3. Wilson is still in for Thunderdodge though, so still a threat.
Single on to Chaco.
Nice block.
Single on to Ravinsky.
Oh,
Franklin can't quite repeat his heroics. Great surviving from Chaco as well, and the cover there's from Wilson, and he makes the hit on Halpin. And he's not particularly happy about that, but yeah, Wilson doing all the damage in this one. Great surviving from these 2 remaining players to make sure that player advantage is retained.
3 balls now for Thunderdodge. Whiskey throws.
It's a hit on Chaco. Double reply, doesn't make the hit, but the ball wasn't live. Ball wasn't live, he couldn't respond. Oh, that's a rough one for Ravinsky. I mean, he needed to have that ball in play to be able to block. Turns out he didn't need it in the long scheme of things, but it was a blunt instrument. He couldn't make any damage with it. Hatfield enters the fray for Thunderdodge. Blessed Williams taking a break, and Hayes is on for Dunford. Wilson again putting that quick start to very good use.
Oh, two players down.
Again.
Again. These quick starts really aren't.
2 quick starts and 4 hits from Wilson so far. Some mind-bending stats.
Wow. Nice hit.
And 2 hits as well. A hit from Bradbury onto Cousins, and then Ravinsky looks to punish, and Hayes is there to kill him.
Thunderdodge worlds, and we're just living in it.
That 46 set differential is on, folks.
I'm nervous. So yeah, now
2 balls onto Key doesn't make the mark.
4-player advantage for Thunderdodge. Free throw out.
Takes out 5 balls. Bradbury does get out of the way of 2.
2 balls now, 1 ball for Thunderdodge again. Back in the hands of Bradbury. Gets hit by Key.
Brilliant shot from Key. Absolute missile onto his right foot.
Yeah, lovely placement.
Hayes caught fishing a little bit.
Okay, so the Bees are making this happen.
Yeah, just grinding back into it, 1 player at a time. Thunderdodge with the 2 balls though. They have a counting opportunity here should they wish to take it. Single ball comes in. Hadfield doesn't want any of it. Free throw from Key. Free throw as well takes on the left hand side is successful in dislodging his ball. 2 ball attack onto Key, doesn't make the mark. Chacos provides good cover for Hadfield and Wilson.
2 balls now for Thunderdodge. Well, only a 1-player advantage. That 4-player advantage really has been whittled down.
Yeah, short-lived. 2 balls onto Wilson. And some
a bit of miscommunication there to Boss, I guess.
Yeah, I think Wilson trying to call a target on the run-up. I don't think Hadfield quite heard the shout. Single from Key, looks for Chaco. Double counter onto the ball and makes the hit from Wilson again.
Markland, I believe. I don't have my glasses
Strickland,
on.
I think.
Strickland, that's the one. I did say that earlier.
Well, tell me second half what his name actually is.
Yeah, when it's a lot closer to us. 3 balls now for Thunderdodge. Key left. Danger man though. It seems
yeah,
like
plenty capable of making a catch. Free throw comes in. 2 safe balls and the 3rd safe one as well. Gets away with it, Hadfield. And Wilson is hit. Good honesty. Looked a close one from Key, but it does make the mark. Hadfield and Chaco tasked to stay alive.
Block out from.
And it's a hit. Oh, no, it's a line. It's a line fault.
Oh, Key.
Yeah, he had to pull out all the stops to try and get that one. But that's another set for Thunderdodge. It's 5-1.
Wow, yeah. It doesn't seem to be B's day today, really.
Angel's back on. Yeah, B's being very fluid with their substitutions. I think it's Ravinsky is off this time out.
And Franklin's off as well.
And Franklin's off for Sanderson.
Yeah, Sanderson's back on. They both had 2 sets off.
Yeah, this is going to keep us on our toes, but we'll keep you updated about what the lineup is. Chaco's also off for Thunderdodge, taking a bit of a breather after her survival instincts in the last set, and Pete is in for the middle.
Number 3, Pete. So yeah, no early shenanigans here, but a nice hit from
Key on Hadfield. Key taking inspiration from Wilson and doing a lot of damage from their calling wing. Single from Pete, looking for Sanderson straight away.
I mean, the
Single from Angel doesn't find Wilson.
The Bees team in general have seen a lot of players this season. Been a lot of moving up, moving down.
Yeah, the curse of a seconds team. 2 balls do take out Angel. Definitely earmarked as a danger man for worker bees, but he's not been provided the opportunity to do much damage.
Quiet.
Hayes caught fishing a little bit. Cousins survives the after throw from Dunford, and then is there to punish him as a result. Results in a 2 for none in favour of Bees. Single from Pete Sanderson. A lot of counters coming out from Thunderdodge, giving away 4 balls on a couple of occasions, but Key isn't there to make him pay.
Yeah, no getting hit, but that just favours bees at this point. 2 players up, 3 balls.
Wilson Pete potentially a little fortunate to receive 2 balls. Single from Cousins doesn't make the mark. That's been blocked right into the middle of the other court, so we might be playing 2-on-2 for a little while. Here it is. Bradbury tries throwing through the block of Cousins, but doesn't make the mark. Got a minute left of this set by the looks of things.
2 balls back for Thunderdodge.
So 1 catch game still, so only 2 players down. Wilson looking for through this time. Two balls looking for Bradbury, gets over him.
Nice block out from Cousins. Nice dodge from Pete.
Pete and Bradbury opportunity to throw a double counter at Cousins there, but elect not to take it. The Cousins blocks the ball back, but then gives away 5 balls in the process.
Yeah, 5 balls for Thunderdodge.
Good dodging from Halpin. Brilliant surviving.
Yeah, mid-air just wiggling there. That's a technical term.
Yep, straight from the coach's textbook.
Yep, I would know. Nice block there from Pete to avoid the free throw.
Yeah, B's doing well to just grind out the set a little bit. Thunderdodge are going to have to go here.
And that's the whistle.
Too little, too late.
Yeah. So
5-3. B's win their first set of the game.
1 minute 35, I think that was from Dom there, the ref.
What do you know? Our clock's bang on.
Wow. Amazing operating there from Lauren.
Shout-outs.
Yeah.
Shout-outs in general to the commentators and operators that keep this stream running.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, no elected to take the quick start there, Thunderdodge.
And Hayes played into a bit of trouble, and Wilson is there to punish Angel. He then makes a cheap hit on Bradbury.
A lot of confusion there.
Yeah, 4 balls for Bees. They throw 2 at Wilson and he gets out of the way. For quite a tall man, he's doing very well at surviving when he's an empty target.
Oh, well, nice cross
and good shot from Hadfield or Strickland. Level now, after a bit of a torrid start for Thunderdodge. Block up from Hadfield. Wilson throws onto Halpin, block called.
Oh, nice shot from Key.
Key again, making a lot of single ball hits in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, mentioning Cousins and Angel as mainstays in their first, Key definitely hasn't looked out of place when he's been up there.
Nice block from Key and a
double
double
counter
hit
onto Wilson. Yeah, he had to start taking risks.
Oh, he almost managed to pick that hit up, but
yeah, Hadfield makes the hit. They haven't got time to hang around here. Blocked.
And that's a so we're all even at half time, 5-5.
5 each, yeah. B's nipping that set by 1 player.
Yeah, so nice of Beast to come back, make that comeback. Well, Thunderdodge coming out strong, so it really could be anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, plenty of reasons to be optimistic for Thunderdodge. They've certainly been... They haven't had to rely on individual brilliance to be able to live with Bees. They've been doing the basics They've been doing the basics very well against them. Particularly Angel, Cousins have been... Their lives on court have been very short-lived, so as soon as they've released, they've been there to punish. It's been, you know, two of Beast's biggest weapons have been not been allowed to operate with the freedom that they'd like.
Key has got a bit more breathing room than probably Thunderdodge maybe would like.
Yeah, he's found his rhythm certainly in this game. Been making a lot of single ball hits, like I said.
But yeah, I don't think that either team. Well, I don't think Thunderdodge are too disappointed with that half time.
No, absolutely. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see Bees focus a bit more attention on Wilson as well in a similar kind of vein.
They have been throwing 2 balls a lot at him though, and haven't been throwing purchase. So
yeah, very true. The other option is to try and make sure that Bees is right winger, so the one opposite Wilson is there to shut down any kind of countering opportunity that he's got, rather than trying to take him out in the old-fashioned way, just try and limit his impact in the game. But doing so is no easy feat by any means.
Oh. Trying to see what the score is on the other call.
Elsewhere, it's 12-2 to Bedford Eagles against Virtue Empire. So yeah, I think
Coventry versus Ronda, I believe it's 6-4 to Coventry, it looks like. They may not have swapped it around at half-time, but...
yeah, but that's what the scoreboard says.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both of those teams actually already promoted, so it's potentially just
Grudge match.
yeah, exactly. A bit of bragging rights before both of them make their League One bow next season. And yeah, testing our eyesight on the far court with Soldier Bees against Raptors.
I cannot. People are still in the way of that one.
I think I see 14-0 in favour of Raptors.
Okay. Yep. I think Raptors had a quite good game earlier against Storm, I believe.
Yeah, and I think as Soldier Bees not the at the foot of the League One table, League Two table as it stands as well. Yeah, a tough day for Bees so far. The Bees in front of us, however, being match stride for stride for Thunderdodge certainly.
Didn't Bees beat Meteors then?
True. To be fair, yeah, can't really say fair on that. That's not a bad result for them.
Definitely. So, up on third overall?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think quite comfortably third ahead of Rangers and...
Yeah, Rangers at fifth.
I'm not sure.
We'll find out some point.
Yeah, indeed.
That was a false start.
I have sympathy for Sanderson there because there were two whistles on adjacent courts that went off in pretty quick unison. Yeah, I think that there might be a bit of amnesty there. Yeah. I have sympathy for everyone concerned because Thunderdodge will feel a little bit aggrieved because Sanderson clearly has false side by the referee's whistle. But it's a quirk of just having courts running adjacent to each other that there's
many whistles going on.
Whistles going all the time. I think some good common sense applied by the refs here to ensure that Sanderson isn't punished per se. Thunderdodge do subsequently win the middle wall, but don't put it to brilliant use.
Nice block there from Angel.
Yeah, single effort from Wilson looking for Angel, but nice work from Key. Yeah, catching Dunford a little unaware. You'd have thought that Hadfield would have been the better target to go for per se, with him being the enter target and floundering at the front of court. He diverts his attention to Dunford and he's not prepared for it.
Oh yeah, now 3 balls now for Bees, 1 player up.
And Hayes has a couple of bites at it but doesn't quite secure it.
Oh, it is Markland.
Markland, yeah. Apologies.
Sorry, Mr. Markland. No, for calling Mr. Sterkland. So yeah, 3 balls.
Good free throw from Hadfield, takes out Franklin. And Angel and Key take out Wilson. Making their 2 balls count all of a sudden.
Yeah, 1 ball down for Bees in hand of Key.
He's passed over to Angel.
Oh, okay.
3 ball attack takes out Rominski. And they get rewarded for throwing 3 balls by getting 1 of them back. They have a 2 ball counter opportunity to play with. They're only 1 player down as well. Hadfield applying tons of pressure on that side. 2 balls onto Bradbury, and a bit potentially not the best executed double counter from Hadfield and Bradbury.
Key gets a nice block there. There's only 3 balls for Bees. 1 player still advantage.
Throws through his block.
That's the Hadfield there.
Hadfield, yeah. Applying a lot of pressure, and it comes back to bite him on this occasion. He sees him stranded a little bit up court and takes the opportunity to throw centre of mass. Bradbury throws a safe one near Markland. Double counter. And Key and Angel get out of the way of the 2 counters from Bradbury and Pete.
Yeah, you imagine they'd probably want to start throwing maybe the same person. Try and maximise that counter. Okay, so 1-for-1 trade there.
Yeah, Sanderson celebrated as soon as he makes that trade, because being a 4-on-2 versus a 3-on-1 massively benefits the team and the ascendancy. But
Angel finishes the set there. But yeah, Bees now for the first time in the lead. 7-5-0. Angel seems to have found his stride in that one a bit more.
Yeah, and all change on the Thunderdodge side. Wilson and Hadfield are off. Blessed Williams and Chaco are both on.
Hayes is
and
also
Hayes
off.
is also off. And I think it's the other Blessed Williams, though.
So yeah, now 3 balls now for Bees. 6 on 6.
Angel, yeah,
He gets
certainly
taken out,
found his mojo so far. Yeah, picking off the toes. 2 balls onto Key, makes the hit,
Yeah.
and they get the ball back.
I think it sort of hit his arm rather than blocking there.
Yeah, I think you could probably tell that Key wasn't really prepared for 2 balls to come in at him there.
Yeah, dodged the first one, and then the second one just sort of.
It wasn't the best tactical decision.
A bit of fumbling there from.
I think the coach has actually nutmegged his player right in front of him. So points for the coach on that one. Less so from his teammates.
Dunford gets taken out there as well. So
Great cover from Rinsky, giving Angel a lot of protection. 2 balls onto Sanderson, is successful with the block, and Bradbury tries trading with Ravinsky but doesn't make the mark.
2 players on now for Bees.
And 4 balls in hands,
yeah.
maybe even 5. I don't know where the 5th ball is. They use 2, they don't make the mark. But they might get one of them back.
Don't think anyone on court's realised it.
Well, I'd hazard a guess it's either under the ref table or potentially behind the
little
triangle markers at the back. But stoppage of time for now while we hunt down where this 5th ball is.
I didn't actually see where it went, honestly.
It's a really good atmosphere in here as well today. I think it must be said. I'm not sure if it comes over on the stream, but
I think this is probably the fullest I've seen it as well.
Yeah, there's so many people who have just come down for the entire day, and even if they're playing in the morning and sticking around or whatever. There's a real feel-good atmosphere in this. There's a real feel-good atmosphere in here.
I think there's a lot of people who have just come down to watch as well, so that's always nice.
Yeah, I'd love to see the growth of the sport, certainly. Yep, nobody knows where this ball has gone.
So we're going to go get a new ball. Woo. Not as nice as a new ball in cricket, I guess.
Yeah.
New ball throwers.
Indeed. Yeah, might be here sometime. Given that, I think we might need to grab one out of the bag and pump it up before we get going again. So.
It does appear we have a freshly pumped one.
Oh, excellent!
Here comes Ryan Ellis with it.
Not all capes wear heroes,
and not all Ryans are Ellis's. Looks like on the other 2 courts we've got 16-2 for Bedford Eagles versus Virtue, and 10-6 Coventry leading Ronda.
Ronda currently up in that set. Looks like it's going to be 10-8 pretty soon. Anyway, back to the action at hand. A double free throw straight off the bat with Cousins sees Cousin exit the court. 4 balls with Bees though. They have a player advantage. They can look to extend it here. And they do. There is a free throw comes in, and then Angel says punish.
So 2 player advantage back now for Bees. 2 balls in hand. I imagine Bees probably want to finish this now.
Some rogue throwing from Thunderdodge, and the double counter is successful for Sanderson and Angel.
Yeah, I don't know what Thunderdodge's plan has been with these sort of, I guess, cross.
Yeah, they seem to be going just if you see a target, go for it, rather than necessarily any kind of coordination.
But it never seems to be anyone in front of them. It's always like a cross court.
Great dodges for Chaco, getting out the way of 4 balls. Free throw searches for Markland, but doesn't make the mark. Ravinsky thinks about that one, but does the sensible thing and gets out the way.
Yeah, you don't need catches at this point.
Yeah, Markland thinks likewise, and that's the set. Yeah. Difficult to work out how much time there was left with that massive stoppage in the middle.
So, yeah, no.
Timeout called, Thunderdodge.
So, new set advantage now for Bees, coming out well in the second half. This is what we kind of expected to see coming into this match.
I feel like next set is absolutely key for Thunderdodge. If they lose it, then Bees are probably in. Then it's probably in the state where Thunderdodge need to chase and win sets quickly for there to be any chance of getting a result out of the game. But equally, if Thunderdodge win this next game, then they're within striking distance.
Yeah, definitely. So
8:29 left of the. 8:29 as our refs have gloriously shouted towards us. So still a fair chunk of time left in this game, and Thunderdodge have done with their team talk extremely quickly. For a team that's called the timeout, they've
lined up very quickly.
Yeah, it's a real statement of intent from Thunderdodge.
Considering we just did have the extended period of time looking for the ball.
Yeah, potentially a bit of a knee-jerk reaction. Potentially call that a timeout. The moment that Bees get to 9 points, and they know that they're kind of on their last lifeline.
So Halpin back on now for Bees. Franklin's off, and Markland as well.
Bradbury sends one into the crowd.
But nice catch out from Key.
Yeah, it takes out Chaco. Yeah, Bradbury over on this right-hand side now. Thunderdodge's right-hand side is what I meant to say.
Left as you see it.
Yes.
Wilson gets taken out by Angel, though.
Yeah, not able to cause quite the damage that he was able to in the first half. Single from Key, looking in the centre, but doesn't quite make the mark either.
Key gets taken out by the free throw from Bradbury there.
Yeah, Bradbury blinks on that occasion and sees Key up in no man's land. Invests that force ball via a free throw, but does get the hit and gets the ball back. So a risk thoroughly vindicated from Bradbury.
Nice hit.
2-ball attack, tracks the big dodge from Blessed Williams up in the air, and Cousins is there to punish Bradbury as he looks for Ravinsky.
The Thunderdodge tend to, they're quite a jumpy team, so they have been throwing
big movements, certainly. Yeah. It's that looks like a bounce.
Yeah.
No, it's hit
calls out, yeah.
I think it was hit by one of the first two.
Okay, that last one was probably a bounce, but
anyway, no arguments in any case.
Yeah.
So Bees with again a pretty Leviathan advantage, and Angel finishes the job.
So yeah,
11-5. Workerbees really finding their stride, finishing the season strong.
Yes, yeah. After what I imagine was probably kind of disappointing game from them earlier, seemed to finish the game on a high, finish the season on a high.
Yeah, I think this is the point where I think Workerbees will be half contemplating next season on the drive home, given that they lived with the promotion race for so long.
They had such a strong middle half of the season.
Yeah, just a couple of road results thoroughly derailed them, but this is a good way to finish. Angel, again, not letting Wilson play, and takes him out first throw.
Yeah, they seem to have found their target man in this second half, and very much executed on it.
Not able to replicate the feat on the inside player. Bradbury looks to punish, and Ravinsky's there to cover. 3 balls again for Bees. Trade between Cousins and Blessed Williams, and a few sporadic free throws from Thunderdodge gift all 5 balls to Workerbees.
It's called a bounce onto Cousins there.
Oh, interesting. Fair enough. It looks close, I must say. Bradbury can't go away from 4. Gets clipped on the way down.
Looks like Franklin is injured for Bees. Now pitcher's got some nice pack on. So hoping him a speedy recovery, but I don't expect to see him back in the game.
Yeah, certainly not. With it being a bit of a dead rubber game as well for Workerbees, I don't think they can actually get any higher than they currently are. Double free throw takes out Ravinsky. Thunderdodge again, a little discipline with ball possession, but they make the hit, so it does come back. They get away with getting 2 balls. Are we going to lose the 5th ball again? No, they got 3. There we go. Hayes looks for Cousins. Two-player advantage still for Bees. Both wingers applying pressure. Sanderson gets caught napping a little bit, but Cousins is there to punish.
2 balls now for Bees, 2 players up still. 3 balls now.
Yeah, expecting a molly ball attack.
Free throw from Hayes, not finding it, but getting punished by 2 more balls back.
Chaco does take out Halpin in the process though. So it's still only a 1-catch game. Chaco plenty capable of doing so. Free throw, Angels unfazed. And the 3-ball attack does make the mark on Chaco.
So now Bees up 13-5. I think this is probably game.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a short set. So a case of how many. All right, here we go. Potentially the last time in this game we get us underway. And a hit from Wilson straight away onto Angel.
He's been absolutely lethal with these free throws.
And yeah, with it being late in the game, there's probably never a better time to pick our candidates for man of the match.
I think for Bees, you definitely have to pick Key.
Yeah, I think for all the hype that Angel and Cousins has done, I think Key's been a bit of the silent assassin for.
Yeah, especially in the first half.
Yeah,
especially in the first half when.
And there's a ricochet catch from Chaco. Brings back in Hayes. I think I've got to give an honourable mention to Wilson as well.
Yeah, I was going to say those two.
Particularly his first half antics were providing an awful lot of damage, and really is the main source of Thunderdodge's 5 points.
Wilson. Yeah, both had very good games. Key having a game, playing well even when Bees maybe didn't start as strong as they wanted to, and now they've sort of found their stride. He hasn't really let up. So.
Yeah, very much so. 3 balls blocked from Bradbury.
Hit on
does
Key.
Make the hit on Key. And Markland unfazed by Hayes.
3 balls now for Bees.
Yeah, Halpern and Markland coordinating their attacks. Hayes applying a ton of pressure. Does make the trade.
Bradbury doesn't get the counter there.
Yeah, it's a 1v1.
Halpern has 3.
Halpern has 3, mate. No, only 3. Yeah.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, Halpern a very elusive player, certainly. I won't be surprised to see Bees potentially favour this draw. Block from Halpern. Goes into an empty ball, but block onto himself. Unfortunate from Bradbury. I think that was the right decision for Bradbury to go for broke there. Yeah, just a little bit of swerve on the ball from Halpern is enough to see it skim off his block into his shoulder. Halpern secures those 2 set points for Bees. It's 15-5.
15-5. Very, very good second half here. 10 straight points for Bees.
Yeah, Thunderdodge. I think Thunderdodge doing a lot of doing a lot of good stuff. But I think Bees have really found their mojo this time around.
Yeah, two plays straight out for Thunderdodge there as well.
Yeah, I think Bees have definitely been at a point where they start capitalising on some sloppy Thunderdodge errors with possession. But yeah, certainly the countering exchange game, Bees have really improved from the first half, certainly.
Yeah, 3 balls now for Bees, 2-player advantage. Looks like the other games have finished now, so we're due to our little timeout. Ricochet catch there.
Jacko looks for Rinsky. No joy on that occasion. Sanderson elects to not go through that counter.
Jacko taken out. Sanderson
also taken out though.
And that is
Full time.
game, I believe.
17-5 to Worker Bees.
Yeah, very good second half there from them.
Yeah, so with that, Thunderdodge's season ends in defeat and relegation, unfortunately. So they'll be playing League 2 Dodgeball next season.
Yeah, and so very, very rarely so for MVP. Matthew Key for Worker Bees there. So congrats to him. I had a fantastic game all around. So.
Indeed, yep. Last one of men's League 1 looks like it's going to be Bedford Rangers 2 against Nighthawks.
Good game there. And on the other call we have Cyclones versus Sheriffs 2. So,
Indeed. Right, that's all for now. We'll catch you in the next one.
Hello and welcome to the final game of the Men's League One here at the final league meet of the season. Today, well, in this period, we have Rangers 2 versus Norwich Nighthawks. This is not a positional game at this point. We have Nighthawks finishing in first place pretty confidently. They'll be very happy with how their season's gone. Earning promotion into the Super League for next season. Rangers 2 sitting in, I believe, 6th place. I can check my spreadsheet again. But they solidified their position by beating Cyclones earlier in the day. So now this is just for bragging rights. Big finish to the season. Rangers 2, a lot of really strong players. Despite Nighthawks going very strong this season and seeming like the favourites, like I back Rangers here to put up a very good fight. Makes it a bit more entertaining for us as well. A couple of players to look out for. On the Nighthawks side in the middle, crouched down, ready for the runoff, is Henry Skinner. Used to play for Meteors, has played in the Super League quite a while. Very fast runner. Got Sam Mason, number 12 on Bedford Rangers. Fantastic middle player. Loves a good little drop and catch. Watch out for his textbook move in this game. Greg Whitehouse, one of the commentary team as well. I say mostly a middle player, can take a lovely little catch as well. So hopefully we'll see a few of those, back and forth. Starting off this game, both teams just looking for some single balls into the middle, just testing each other. Put a few off-body shots, see if you can get the first hit in. Block there from Michael Lincoln on the wing. Skinner there looking for the foot of Lee on the Rangers side, but Lee with a nice little hop over it. Again, just looking for the extremities. No one wants to put a throw in into someone's gut at this point. As things open up there, though, the post throw coming in from, I believe, Dom on the Nighthawks side comes across, gets the hit, but is avenged by... avenged on the Rangers side, makes the trade. Rangers, though, one player down. Check my team sheet here. Rangers now 2 players down. Nighthawks opting for the... So there's a ball up in the commentary box with us here. Put that back onto the pitch. Nighthawks there looking for the aggressive finish, trying to get the hit while they've got the ball possession to try and finish the set. Do Skinner up with a high line, same on the opposite side as well. The 2 wingers trying to put a lot of pressure on to really push back the Rangers players as they come forward with the 3 balls. That's even more effective when you're a couple of players up, because the last thing that Rangers want to do at this point is go for a trade when they're 2 players down. So you can be really aggressive on those wings to push them back and make the single ball attacks much less effective. The Rangers will get the 2-ball attack now, the first block, and then the second up into the air. Whitehouse dives off court for it, has control of the ball by the time he hits the ground, so the catch counts, and then he is out. Oh, and a good catch to counter back on the Nighthawks side. Ooh. Mason backing up, goes for the tombstone, has it in his hands, but just can't keep hold of it on this one. Pre-throw there from Knight, fantastic, I'll say, yes. Pre-throw and catch. The pre-throw sails past, but it's delayed the throws enough for him to take that single ball catch. Skinner looking for the counter there, but he's just looking to fake. With 1 player up with a few seconds left, all they need to do is play the timeout. We've just got our clock and scoreboard going here. First set of the game goes to Nighthawks, only by 1 player, with a nice catch at the end of the set there. Definitely some potential for Rangers to fight back here. Thank you, Alex, such for joining me now on the commentary team.
You're very welcome. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay.
As you're aware, it's the final meet today, so a lot of teams are celebrating, so everyone's going around taking some photos, and I'm doing my part.
Yeah, everyone's media team this time is like, make sure you get your team photos in so that we can put a media post up, please.
Then we're going to have to do the exact same thing tomorrow after the British Open.
Yes, of course. We restart now, both teams again just looking for that first hit of the set. See how aggressive Rangers go with this throw. Looking at ball, trying to slow down the counter a bit, but not enough. And Dom Johnson with the chases down Whitehouse for the first hit. Go player up. And coming again with 3 balls, and Skinner with a lovely shot through the block. Takes them 2 players up. Ooh. Knight with the fake, throw the ball over to the other court. There. They've been doing. Oh! And then a
catch there.
Fantastic diving catch. As he didn't even dive backwards, he dived across. That was fantastic.
Knight, number 15, who I believe has trialled for Wales. Clearly showing he's got the ability.
Yeah, definitely. Send them this video.
Yeah.
Nighthawks will take 4 balls though. Looking to capitalise. 2 balls into the middle. Good jump from Whitehouse. Back in after that catch from Knight. Back in that state of evening things up again. So once again, both teams probably slow down a little bit. Try and get that first hit to kind of pry the other team open a little bit. Ooh, Skinner trying to do that with a pre-throw, but sails over Hibbert's head. Good hold from Rangers. They take 4 balls. Play ball is called, and they'll send 2 to the left. Miss the hit. 1 to the right. Skinner comes back with the after throw, catches the rebound, and then as Whitehouse comes forward, Skinner finishes him off as well.
Yeah, amazing reactional play there from Skinner.
And keeps 4 balls for the next play. Although I think we are missing a ball. Oh, there it is. The Nighthawks come forward with the 4 balls nice and quick to get an attack off. And then they're still going to keep 3 for the following attack. Block there from Dom.
Thought about it
almost.
Baller, by the way.
Sorry?
That's baller.
I apologise.
Right.
Oh, Dom. Well, apologies to everyone watching this back who's thinking, hey, he got my name wrong while he was saying all the cool things that I did.
Yeah, so far a really strong showing from the Nighthawks. As they are now the title champions of the Men's League One. They will be getting promoted to the Super League. Their final game of the season, they'll be looking to put on a strong clinical game here to end the season.
Good free throw there from Skinner to end as the time ends as well. Just to confirm that set. I noticed that as well. One of the earlier league meets when I had a bit of a thumb injury, I played with the worker bees against Nighthawks. And that was a bit of a decimation. They played a few sets in that, and you know, my analysis of that is Skinner's going to pre-throw you, and it's going to be pretty good. You know, he's played in the Super League for a long time. He's played internationally in various different places, and he is of that caliber. He's going to put effective pre-throws in, and it's going to ruin your day.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I for one, I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing how Nighthawks perform in the Super League next season.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, usually there's a lot of pressure and a lot of eyes on the 2 teams that get promoted from League One up into that Super League.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of eyes this season on Coventry and Derby, who both have actually managed to hold up quite well.
Yeah, for sure. Phantom's putting up some fantastic results.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not coming off in other areas against like similar caliber teams, but for a first season to come out so strong is great. Silverbacks, the main one I remember is almost beating Meteors at the very start of the season.
Yeah.
That was a bit shook from that. That would have been a huge upset to the table.
Yeah, I think.
So yeah, similarly, Nighthawks next season, the eye's going to be on them, and like I back them to make an impact.
So do I. To be honest, I don't think they'll really have to be worried about relegation. I think they'll more be a middle table team. They've been very consistent, very strong for pro now.
Although, saying that, the you know, it's getting harder and harder to break into Super League. It doesn't quite feel like a split table
quite as much as anymore, and maybe with the addition of Nighthawks, like it's going to be very, very strong teams getting pushed down into that tougher zone where you're really fighting for relegation.
No, I completely agree. I think it's going to be a very exciting season next year, especially with the additional changes of 3 matches per league meet.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're definitely going to see the fitness element come into play a lot more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do need to quickly rush off to, again, do my duties for social media and take some photos. I'll be back shortly by leaving in the capable hands of Matt.
Don't worry, guys. If you enjoy the sound of my voice, you're in for a wonderful few minutes. If you don't, then, well, I hope you're not a Rangers or Nighthawks fan. Because this might be a painful few minutes for you. Mason with a little scoot back there as the threat of an after throw comes from Nighthawks. Always good to... There's some nice trading there, some good dodging, but a little bit of a fish there from the Nighthawks player. Just left his hand out a little bit too wide. Yeah, always good to put in the fakes for whatever you're doing to kind of send more weight to what you do in the future. Like you don't want them to know exactly what you're going to do. If they throw one ball at you and then you fake both throwing and after throw, and you don't do it, then maybe next time they won't expect it. They'll be thinking, oh, they've just faked last time, so they're probably not actually releasing, and then suddenly, bam, you hit. So that's why it's so vital. That's why you see so many fakes coming out from all the players. Just there as Nighthawks even things up at 5-5, catching Lee up high up the court. Rangers will take 3, try and bring things back in their favor. Ooh, single into 2, makes the hit with a double after throw. Evens things up once again. Hibbert on the receiving end of a couple of tough ones. Lovely tombstone catch from Skinner there. As Mason tries to avenge. Yeah. They're both over there. No, don't take that one. Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, Mason tries to avenge his teammate, but a fantastic diving back catch from Skinner. And then Nighthawks capitalizing with a 2-ball throw on Whitehouse. Happy to try and end the set here. Ooh. Last thing you want to do. Oh no, line fall there. As he tries to end the set with a cheeky little shoulder shot. Don't want to put it in his basket for a catch. That's the worst thing you can do at this point, especially when you're throwing on your own, because your team will never forgive you. But look for a nice shot on the toes, shot on the shoulders to finish things off. Nighthawks come up with 2 to put some pressure on. I think exactly what they wanted there was to bait out that 4th ball. So now they're going to send 3, 4 balls at Lincoln, make it very difficult for him to do anything, and finish off the set there, nice and clinical. Nighthawks putting on a showcase of why they've done so strongly this season. A mixture of general throwing, clinical throwing, making hits. Being effective in the trades like that, that is a 2 for 2. Not too negative from either side. And then a sprinkling of individual spotlight plays, doing something with a bit of pizzazz on it to give them that bit more of an edge. With that ball bouncing into Nighthawks there.
6-0.
Sorry, I've done a terrible job at keeping the scoreboard going while you've been away.
I am now back. Apologies.
Lovely. Good little dodge out of the way. You're in the photo. Oh, lovely. Check that out on the Spartans Instagram. Look out for that post. Oh, and catching the after throw. Great take there in the middle. Mason on the other unfortunate end of being caught from his pre-throw. Obviously wasn't aware that it actually been caught, because as he should, as soon as you throw that ball, your eyes should be off it. Oh, and Knight goes up for the catch, but I think hit first before he makes the catch. Tries to catch the rebound off Hibbert, but
Really well covered from Nighthawks there.
Yeah. Didn't give him the chance. Made sure he got a hit before he got his hands on it. And now they're just putting a safe throw, try and get things in a bit of a favourable position for a counter. Something a little like that. Yeah.
Absolutely no mercy from Johnson there. Not even waiting for the running counter, just immediately taking out Whitehouse. Going for as many sets as possible here.
Even if you want to like clinically finish a set and get it done quickly, I do really like the strategy of sending one ball fairly safe, not necessarily looking for it, just in a way that they're going to keep the ball on their side. Because when there's one player left, they can only throw one. And if they've got 3 balls, they're going to have to come forward and throw in some regard, which gives you a lovely chance at a double running counter, or in that case, single running counter. Just getting them high up court and exposed.
Completely agree, and especially in that scenario when Nighthawks still had 6 players on court, even if a catch was to be made, that still leaves you in a very comfortable position of 5 players on 2.
Yeah, you can afford some risks at that point.
Yeah.
Your team might not like you if you get caught, but you know.
No, but that's the risk you take.
Yeah, but they've still got 3 other players to a 3-player advantage to keep. Solid after throw there from Dom on the Nighthawks side. I hope. Nighthawks 2-player up. Again, really aggressive. Ooh, aggressive pressure from Skinner on the Nighthawk side. The pre-throw there called a hit on the arm as he tried to block it.
And that Knight going aggressive down the middle, unfortunately unable to get the hit on Mallow over there.
Again, Nighthawks can take 3, so if they maybe send 2 balls at ball here.
And almost a great catch from Mason.
Fortunately, that second ball came such into the basket as well that if he'd have caught the first one, he might have had a little catch and block. Unfortunately, this time, no dice. Again, Nighthawks going to position themselves in that double running counter place. Knight doesn't want it, says no. I'm going to send this ball nice and early from the back of the court to stop you from getting there. Nighthawks say yes. We're going to send another one and once again get you back into that position. So we can see a little bit of game of chess here as both teams try and get in the right position for something to happen. Knight wants Nighthawks to have 3 balls. He wants a bit of a rough single coming in for him to catch like that. Oh, and he gets the rebound off the block to take the catch. Oh, but then the good trades from Tom there. And when I say trade, obviously, he's gone for the trade, but he's also got nice and low to get out of the way for it. Coming off even better. Tom Walsh taking them ahead there. Oh, that's potentially invalid.
To me.
No matter anyway. Adam chuckles as he hits the center ref with his free throw.
Yeah, I feel like probably was a bit of an invalid attempt there, but
yeah, that was a
funny one indeed.
Yeah, it was good.
Nighthawks won't mind that too much. They're in a very comfortable position. 10 points in the lead now. Will Rangers be able to get any sets on the board before half time, do you think?
It's not a good start. There can't be too much longer left. We've got about 2 sets left, unlikely. A good catch there from Skinner off the start of this set. The few individual plays from Nighthawks have really made a difference. That's a good pre-throw, a good hit.
Yeah, really
it's a good way to start it.
So Evans is hit out by the double release from...
Yeah, the double release, was it on play ball? They signed it kind of instinctually, both just went at ball, seemingly from nowhere. It was very impressive.
And another good standing counter from Mason. This time he does lose his life, but that is 2 for...
Good 2-ball attack there, Whitehouse getting under it. As Knight comes to cover and he evens it up. And that's a set draw.
May not be a set win, but it is points on the board for Rangers as we head
that is
half time.
Half time, yeah. That's a lovely little finish off there. 2-ball attack. Whitehouse gets under the after throws. Ryan Knight comes forward to cover as well. At that point in the set, like it's the last play, and you're down by a player. Definitely, you got to throw 2 balls and then just pray on your team to get under the dodge the after throw as such. But put the onus on the other team to make a hit again. You've got to do your part and make your hit first.
What do you think Rangers need to do here in order to try and get any sort of footing back into it?
I think the survival has not been as good as I've seen from them before. I think they're a bit more movement, or when I phrase it as movement, it's not that they're necessarily not moving, but successful dodges. How you do that, it can vary, whether you're dodging a little bit later, whether you're dodging bigger, or even just dodging smaller because you're kind of selling yourself with the movement a lot. Because the throwing from Nighthawks has been quite clinical. They've done it well at making those singles, and there's also definitely some catches being left on the table from Rangers too. I know they can take some of these catches, and that's going to make a huge difference if they suddenly start converting those. And you see a huge swing in games sometimes because in the second half, teams just either start or stop taking catches, and that's just makes such a huge difference to the set.
Yeah, as you say, even just one catch can completely turn the tide of a single set.
Yeah.
So Rangers, maybe they'll be the ones on the positive end of the catches in the half.
I think both teams have been pretty happy to open up play as well. I think Rangers have done well with it, and they are making hits, but it's probably favouring the Nighthawks side slightly. It's a tough thing to say that you should never open it up after that, because then you're losing, counters and post throws and not being able to punish them for their single ball throws. You've got to keep some threat there of post throws and counters and pre-throws. Otherwise, they just have free reign to come up and throw even better singles. Well, very close to the back line there. Oh, it's on the back line. Planted his toes.
Just call him out there for an infringement on that back line.
Good eyes on the line ref. It's always good to see the line refs paying attention, because it's an easy thing for your focus to drift off from. And when I say drift off, I mean literally onto the game. It's stuff to remember sometimes. As a line ref, your job is to watch the line, because it's also very useful to have more eyes on the game. A sacrificial play there as he runs into the 4 balls to make the hit, but no hit coming back.
Yeah, I thought he got a sacrifice at all. I thought he did too, but apparently not much of a sacrifice at all, as Bawley does stay alive and gets the aggressive hit onto Whitehouse.
Rangers not complaining about it, so I think either he wasn't hit or the ball was, it wasn't a legitimate hit or something along those lines. That's quite a turnaround from being attacked by 4 balls to winning by 1 player, winning that trade by 1 player.
Yeah, I think it kind of explains or demonstrates a lot about the state of this game right now. In that no matter what Rangers do, Nighthawks are just coming out on the winning side of it every time.
Just not quite coming off for Rangers. Attempt there from Ray. Drops his ball, looks for the catch, but in the air, it's a tough one. Ooh. I know the right one to go for there. Nighthawks looking to finish off the set, but Ray definitely right to kind of sit and just try and take that on the back track. Nighthawks are not going to give you many good opportunities, and that was probably the best of them as they finish off the Rangers side, take things to 13-1.
Yeah, in just 2 minutes in that first half, Nighthawks takes their first set, really putting on a show and demonstrating why they are now the champions of Men's League One, and I guess sending a bit of a message to some of the teams in the Super League of what's to come next season.
Yeah, I'm shaking in my boots here. And that sounds sarcastic, but they're going to be a tough team to play against. And
I think they definitely bring a style which a lot of teams may not be used against, especially in this.
Yeah.
So as you say, especially towards the start of the season, they really could bring.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few people in there that have not played at the Super League level before, so it'll be really interesting to see how they do alongside players like Skinner and Tom Walsh, who've been in the Super League. and they kind of played at that level. How are these other players going to find their feet in the Super League, playing against the big name international players week in, week out? Hopefully we see some rising stars and see them really come to shine. And then with people like Skinner able to kind of steer the ship with just some brilliant play as he gets the hit and the dodge and dances along the line there to stay alive. Good 2-ball attack there onto the left side, taking advantage of those 4 balls. Rangers tried to fire back with 2 balls of their own. It's a bit of a tough one at this point though, because you're going to end up giving Nighthawks 4 balls and they're going to make the most of it. You really got to make them count if you're going to throw 2 of your balls.
Just like that, just over a minute gone in the set. Only 2 players from the side of Rangers remain against 5 of that of Nighthawks.
Solid block from Adam, right? Waiting for a better opportunity. Don't want to give them 4 balls in this situation again. Michael Lincoln blocks Thunder. Now they'll take 4 balls. Skinner's probably going to put on quite a bit of pressure though, try and dim their chances of getting a throwaway. Adam Ray gets the block and then the double counter on them.
And now Nighthawks left with no balls in possession.
Rangers,
opportunity for Rangers.
They've really got to take this.
Yeah. And unfortunately, they give 2 balls away without getting a single hit. Bally moving to the side quite easily of the 2-ball attack.
I think they're going to maybe try to take the 3rd ball up there as well, so you don't end up this position where they come back and counter. And the 4th ball goes onto Nighthawks. That's going to be a tough time for the Rangers side. So you can see a big dodge out of the way. And a jump to the side.
Catch instead.
Great take from Adam Ray.
Really good catch. Now both sides even with 3 apiece. Rangers going with the 3-ball attack. Bally blocked safely.
Delayed throw there, looks for the trade. And then a very gentle looking throw from both sides that they tried to dodge out the way of the ball. And Adam Ray gets fingertips to it but puts it down. Nighthawks take the lead again by a player.
And again in possession of 4 balls. Takes the hit on Jack Evans.
That's a trade. It's better for Nighthawks for sure, but Michael Lincoln in a 2v1
with only 10 seconds remaining.
Oh, and it goes for
the catch. Nighthawks take yet another set.
Completely the right one, but it's a fairly well placed shot, kind of nice and low and off the body. Michael Lincoln's got to really grab for it. If he takes the catch, you can't be too upset with that. But the placement and power is good enough that they finish off the set there.
Looks like a timeout might have been called there. I presume probably from the side of Bedford Rangers. Well, if I'm honest, I'm not surprised they haven't put it sooner.
Yeah. I'm racking my brains to try and remember whether Rangers called a timeout in the first half. I don't believe they did.
No, I think there was a bit of a stoppage at some point, but I think that was more sport and referee related rather than Rangers themselves. Saying that, we could be completely wrong and this could be Nighthawks timeout after all.
Everyone at home shouting at the TV like, what are you talking about? They already did that.
As Spartans 2, also being promoted from Men's League 1 up to the Men's Super League next season. Hopefully, when I'm returned from my injury, I'll be back in that team.
Exciting.
Any advice for players going into the Super League? What are some key differences and sort of ways players need to step up?
Well, I mean, the most obvious one is everything comes at you a little bit faster. Like, the throws are coming faster. The counters they're running faster. And, you get a few people that are just that bit better at taking those catches as well. So, I assume you've got your summer training regime set in place every week.
Yeah.
Every day at the gym.
Yeah, I've got a lot of physio on the plan, a lot of physio plans still, and then a lot of gym work as well. Work on that strength and conditioning, and as mentioned previously, 3 matches next season, I think we'll definitely be testing some team's fitness. probably see a lot more teams taking 9, even 10 players.
Yeah, I was talking to Aiden about this earlier. I think to the standard at the minute that you generally see, generally, I'm talking mainly from a B standpoint here as well, but I'm sure the teams feel roughly similar. You take 8 players and you have 2 subs, and if you have even subbing, that feels about right. If some players get a bit less game time, it feels like not fantastic. Like, it feels like you've not played that much and you might be a bit upset about it. Whether that's from a decision the coach has made, if you feel that way, or if, you know, I want to be to the I want to get that bit better so I get more game time and play that bit more. If that's how your selection is. That is how your selection is done. So I think with 3 games, we'll probably see that normal run from go from 8 to 9. I think 10 will be slightly too many.
Quite a lot, really. That's 4 substitutions.
Yeah, I think you'll feel like you haven't had that much game time, or at least like any change in any deviation from completely even subbing will feel like you've been, you know, shorted a little bit on your game time.
Sorry to interrupt slightly. There was a collision of balls in mid-air there, and both of them actually get returned to the hands of Nighthawks players, and
wow,
Lee is called out for a catch.
That is extremely unfortunate.
But no, yeah, I think I do completely agree with you. I think 9 is probably the right amount, and realistically, you would hope that. And a great catch from
nice pre-throw catch there.
You would hope that teams in Men's League 1 and Super League and Women's Super League, Women's League 1 will hopefully have the fitness to be able to play 3 matches in one day.
Yeah.
Especially if they are spread out a little bit.
Yeah. I think it might potentially reduce the number of players that are available. We were contemplating whether or not we'd be able to get a 4th team in our league. However, I'm not actually sure we're going to be able to do that if we're shifting to 3 games a league meet, because we're probably going to want to take 9 for our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd team ideally. Which is nice because it gives a couple more players the opportunity to play more as well. Yeah, I think taking 8 is going to feel like like when you take 7 now, and it's a bit of a treat. You get more game time. You don't have as many options as subs, and if someone gets injured, then you're suddenly in a bit of hot water.
Yeah.
But I think 8 will be like, oh, lovely. Oh.
And almost a spectacular dodge from Sam Mason there.
Only hit by 1 on the backside.
The press-up jump, almost coming in clutch.
A brilliant effort there. Yeah, but otherwise, with the Super League, I think, yeah, things are just going to come a little bit faster. The tactics can be very similar, varies from team to team still, but it's just going to be like that kind of next level. But saying that, like, the teams in League 1 are certainly putting up a fight, and I think if you put every team in League 1 against every team in Super League, it's not going to be a case of Super League wins every game. There's 100% going to be some crossover. There's going to be some upsets. So I really don't think Spartans 2 are going to be, that far off the pace. Yeah, and Spartans 2 coming up to that league, it's going to be I think, if I'm not wrong, and a turnover there from the Rangers side. As a ball retriever, you cannot grab the balls once they have crossed the center line and then gone over to the other side. Now, on the edge of the court, that line is slightly imaginary and it's extended from the center line. So it can be quite easy to make that mistake as it rolls like slightly too far forward. So I think that's what has happened there. With the Rangers retriever, he's picked it up as it's just gone over the line, and the ref has said, well, that's kind of it. Unfortunately, that was a retriever error.
Little bit of a late release there onto Sam Mason.
A little bit, yeah.
I think Thomas Smith, centre ref, falling already in motion from Skinner.
Yeah. Ooh, and it's in the middle of the team as well. Like, he's not that far off Adam Ray. I think it's arguable that it's a valid attempt against a different player. It's a bit tough to call. I think I'm a big advocate in dodgeball of. I'm going to say I'm a big advocate of safety because it sounds like when I say that I'm now going to say about something that isn't safe. But you need to be kind of lenient with people throwing a bit late, and I think it's up to the player to keep paying attention to the game. As long as you are throwing in a non-dangerous way, you can't be too tight on people having to release. Like, if someone is in motion, you can't immediately call them out for throwing too late. Like, you need to give them that kind of like reaction time, because a lot of the time when you're throwing, you're not actually looking at who you're throwing at as well. And if you're throwing out the back of your hand trying to catch people off guard and you may not have noticed that that person is out and got their hands up, I think it's really important for players to keep their eyes focused on the game with their hands up as they exit court, so that you don't end up with any kind of like bad situations. That being said, you got to be careful about where you hit people. You do not want to be hitting people that are unaware, especially in the face and such. So I might sound like the bad guy there, like I'm advocating for people getting hit unaware. That's not what I want at all. I just don't want to hinder the kind of like, hinder the flow of the game, because you have to look at who you're throwing at all the time. It takes away a bit of a tactic. That's my small rant about throwing late.
I think it's very fair, and I think it especially comes into account when I'm sure you've probably experienced this at some point in your career where you're running up about to hit someone, they've thrown a ball past you, and they've actually been caught behind you, but you don't know. You're looking forwards, so you still throw and hit them. They might not have the hands that might have stopped playing though, because they've been caught out. And then obviously you hit them quite hard, and sometimes they get a bit upset, but often it's not your fault, you're unaware.
Ideally, like the worst case scenario in that is that you hit them in the face, which is really bad because they're kind of not ready for it. And you don't want that, but you shouldn't be trying to hit them in the face anyway. The whole point is that, especially on a counter like that, in a place where it's avoidable, you're not trying to hit them in the head. If you hit them in the leg, in the shin, in the lower body, like when it's on a counter and they are actually already out, like that's what happens to us anyway. Like we're very used to being hit, and most of the time everyone's very amicable about it, and there's not really many problems. So maybe I'm ranting for absolutely no reason.
As much as I have loved the rants, we are actually going to be coming into what will be most likely the final set of this game, a shorter set. Currently 19-1 in favour of Nighthawks, and if I'm honest, if we're following the same pattern that has been all game, I don't see Rangers getting any more points on the board. I see Nighthawks breaking that 20-point threshold and taking a very comfortable win here as the final game of the 22-23 season.
Yeah, definitely. They don't look to have really faltered very much. Saying that, they had 2 players down against Rangers here, so let's see Rangers take at least another set. Did he just catch the rebound? Oh, it's a double hit. Sam Mason's taken a catch. I'm not even sure where that ball came from, but the after throw against one of the Nighthawks players rebounded off, and I think got them a double hit, as well as Sam Mason taking a catch at the same time. So now we see Rangers, a nice clinical finish here. Take the set points. Don't do anything stupid. Nice. Cool, calm, juggled it a little bit, took the catch.
Yeah, and I clearly spoke too soon, jinxing Nighthawks there, as it very quickly turned in Rangers' favour, and they take the set.
So now into the likely final set. Are we in a minute? 1 minute set, yes. So I'm backing Rangers here. I want Rangers to win this set. Nighthawks have got their gold medal, they got their promotion. Let's give Rangers a big finish at the end of the season as they take the final minute set. So let's start things off. Whoa, nice single.
Dom Johnson ahead to that outbox.
Absolutely fished for that. That's what I'm going to call that. he was absolutely dying for the catch there. As the free throw comes in for Rangers, potentially a little bit early to get the hit there, but the grab from Ryan Knight in the middle. He's going to bring Jack Evans in after getting himself out from giving Rangers 4 balls.
And as time is dwindling down in this final,
and another catch!
Rangers make another catch.
Another catch from Knight.
But they do hold, they reset with 5.
Who's the poor sucker on the end of the target here? Oh no!
I think Rangers on the end of it there. It was away 2 catches, and just like that, Rangers throw away the final set of the game, and Nighthawks do win the game, 21-3.
It smiles all around though. Right, Knight is the only player I can see who is not smiling, probably because he took 2 catches to win that set, only for it to be thrown away in the last second. But yeah, smiles all around. Nighthawks happy to finish off the season nice and strong. Rangers with a good end to the game at the very least.
Yeah, an absolutely great showing there from Nighthawks. And that is at the end of the Men's League 1 here today.
And
from
for the
round
season.
9 and for the season. Please do stick around. This stream will be ending, but we have another scheduled stream coming up right now, which is of the Women's Super League. So be sure to check that out. There is a huge battle going on for the title and as well the relegation. So we'll be keeping you up to date with both of those. So see you soon for the Women's Super League.
Cheers.